Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. We're back again with another panel show. We've got a couple of other lads joining late, man. So we're here with Danny, Joe, and Jay. But a couple of the other boys are coming. They're just, running their own errands, running late, out, doing whatever. But they'll be here in a little while. Do me a favor, chat. Smash the like button on the way in. Let's get these likes up real quick. Make sure you guys are subbed up to the channel and sub up to the lads' channels. All the links are in the description, man. Just go to the description of the video, click the channel, click subscribe. It'll take you literally seconds, man. But Manchester City have lost another game, 2 in a row now, and it's 1 win in 3. Honestly, on the back of that, Liverpool have just beaten Arsenal, which puts more pressure on City's next games against United, who we lost against last year, and then Arsenal, who we lost against last year. So we got to figure stuff out real quick, man. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we could be struggling really, really quickly. Get your comments in the chat. We'll bring some up on screen. It's mad, Danny. You were first here. You're eager to speak. Give me your thoughts, man. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm a bit upset. Half of it is because of the game. Half of it is because of where all the concerns are being directed. I think a lot of we haven't spent enough. We need to buy right back. Sure, it's true to an extent. The tactics were off, which I don't necessarily agree with. Okay, maybe it's true to an extent. A lot of it, people criticize the talent of the team. I disagree with that. I think we have the talent to go toe-to-toe with Liverpool, but there's a difference between us and them. They have more up here. They have more right here. In the last year, there have been so many instances where we don't have it here, Self-belief, street smart, and just composure. And it really annoys me. Liverpool have won 3 very ugly games. And all I've seen on the timeline is, they're so lucky. They've been bailed out again. But the pattern is, they, just like us, today, they blew leads in their first game and their second game. Difference is, they kept their heads. They pressed on. They went and found a winner. Today, as soon as that equalizer went in, there was not a bone in my body that thought we were going to score again. And I was proven correct. It's really concerning. Mm-hmm. I go back to 17-18. I go back to 18-19. 2 seasons that are sort of characterized by, 98 points, 100 points, free-flowing football. That's only one of the facets. The other facet is there were so many games in those 2 seasons where we won very ugly games. There was a month in 2017. We had that late Southampton win, the late West Ham win, a United game where they pegged us back right before halftime. We scored right after the interval. The Schalke game in 18-19 where we got a red card 2-1 down. Though even in 2021, we fell behind to Dortmund. We fell behind to PSG in the Champions League, but we had the wherewithal to come back and keep pressing on and come back. If we place this team in those situations, they'd crumble, and that worries me. It's deeper than the tactics. It's deeper than spending money for me. That's where my concerns lie. With Liverpool, for example, they still take it as a slap in the face. They say, okay, we've just been slapped in the face. We go get that goal back. With us, we look like we want the ground to swallow us up. I'd be interested to see what you think. I don't think it's as simple as he's shit, Pep is shit.
I think not to just like sit on the fence. I'm not sitting on the fence. In fact, I'm far from sitting on the fence. I'm cooking everything. I think everything's to blame. Everything. I think the signings since the treble season have not been good enough. We've dropped off massively. Look at the names that left the club and look who we've replaced them with. Yeah, not enough quality. So I think the signings have been poor. I think the too many players have declined. Some of it natural due to age, like your Gundogan's, your Bernardo's, these type of players, but some of them have just dropped off and have not got back to the levels. And I also think you can't just not say anything about the manager. Like, I protected Pep all season last year. Yeah, and the chat will know that. Brad in the chat, yeah, you know for a fact I protected Pep all season last year. But I think you have to start asking questions, not about his future at the club, because I'm not at that level, but about like his in-game management. Because I agree with you, Danny, yeah, on the mentality of the players. And I said this from match day 1. We are a fragile football club. We are a fragile team, and that's fine, yeah, because you can fix that. But to fix it, you've got to win football matches. Yeah, look at what happened against Spurs. I think Pep got his 11, even though it was an exciting 11. I think he got the 11 wrong on the pitch. He left Nico Gonzalez to his own devices. He didn't stick someone next to him. And then today, at half-time, we come back in that second half. I don't know what was going on, but we were shit. And for me, I'm thinking to myself, all right, Pep, what are you going to do here to try and solve it? And it was all very reactive. So I just think the way that we've got to this position is the signings have been poor. Yeah, not enough quality players for the here and now. Too many players for 2, 3, 4 years' time, project players. Yeah, too many players have dropped off. And I think the manager needs to look at these players and stop believing that they're just going to carry on winning football matches. They're not. They don't have the mentality for it. So he's got to be doing more. Why couldn't he stuck Nico Gonzalez on today at 1-0 and just said to him and Rodri, you know what I mean? You two just see out the game or whatever. I just think it's a multi loads of shit's going on here that's caused this situation. But I'm not with it, bro. I just think everything's gone wrong, and that's why I think we're so muddied. That's why I think we had the terrible season last year because so much went wrong. And if we don't figure this out really, really quickly, yeah, we're going to be in for another terrible season. You know what I mean, that's just the facts, bro. That's where I'm at. Anyway.
I mean, I'm just concerned with how the players respond to like even individual mistakes. Look at Trafford last week. He had the worst individual game of any player this season. Today, he was the best player on the pitch. So I don't think it's like a pep motivational thing. I think players need to find their own motivation because Trafford certainly did today. But where was it from the other players? Where was it from Nunes? Where was it from Haaland? Haaland was not his clinical best today. That was a concern. This was another game where we should have been out of sight by halftime. And yet, like I said before Spurs, when you don't take your chances, the other team gets more confident. When the other team gets more confident, they create more chances. When you create more chances, you score more goals. When you score goals against this iteration of Manchester City, you will face long spells of being on top of them, and you will likely win the game. And that's just scary to think about.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the mentality is the biggest problem. It's just like, obviously we needed, after last season, obviously we needed personnel change. I think everyone could see that. Obviously with the state of the midfield that we were putting out every week, it was fucking shocking through like October to February when things sort of started to pick up a little bit after the signings, but it was still awful throughout the mid. So we all knew that we needed personnel, and we haven't got as many of the personnel that were the problem last season out of the door, which is for me a bit of a problem on the mentality side of things, because I don't think that really much is, the needle's not shifted much in the mentality end of things that I've seen in this first few games. But yeah, as well as a personnel change, we needed that mentality shift. We needed players that would come in, like big, serious players that would come in and shift the mentality of this team, like in a serious way. In a way that when we brought in Riyad Mahrez, for example, we brought Riyad Mahrez in as a squad player. Like that's the level that we were once at. Like Premier League winning PFA Player of the Year, Riyad Mahrez. We brought him in as a backup to Bernardo Silva. Like that's the level that we were at. And this season, yeah, fair enough, we brought in Tijani Reinders, who is, like, for me, a genuine, like, bona fide, like, first-team level signing. But we've brought in Cherki, who is good, talented, but still has a long way to go before he's, like, a regular first-team Manchester City player in my mind. Ait Nouri, who has got all the stuff there to do it, great, but he's come from Wolves. He's not coming in as a winner, that kind of thing. That's something that we're going to have to instill into him rather than the other way around. So his mentality is not raising the levels of the squad at all by any means, and he needs time to learn the system and settle in, everything like that. And then we've brought in, who's the fourth player? There's a fourth one who we brought in Trafford, who, obviously, like, I think had obviously a ropey game against Spurs, but today really showed that doesn't bother him. Like, he's like the only player today who's come out of it with any sort of credit for me, really. Like, he's actually, if it wasn't for him, it would have been out of sight in that game. Like, Brighton would have been out of sight a lot earlier in today's game if it wasn't for Trafford. But it just shows that the mentality in this team is just in the mud. Nunes makes one stupid decision, and the fact that we are going to end tomorrow with Nunes as our strongest right back at this football club is a disgrace. Personally, it is the ultimate failing of this transfer window. But at least we'll sort out that goalkeeper situation that doesn't need that we've just seen today is probably fine over the course of a season. But at least we're sorting that out and leaving that right back situation that we can all see is absolutely fucked. And yeah, I just think that we've. The squad building, as LB just said, there has been a problem since the treble season. That's fine. Like, you aren't going to, like, that treble season was a mad, insane one-off. Like, you aren't going to get that level of squad again, realistically. Like, where they've got players like Mahrez coming off the bench and stuff like that. He is like the perfect example of a player who you just don't get those kind of players on your bench these days. Like, and that's fine. We can all accept that. But the levels have gone so downwards. Like Julian Alvarez, we replaced with. Well, we didn't even replace him until January, and then we brought in Marmoush, who, he's had a good second half of the season, yet to get going this season. When Mahrez left, we brought in Doku, who's had 2 years and hasn't done anything, and we brought in Savio, who 1 year hasn't done anything, and we've got Oscar Bob,
wants to go to Spurs.
And then wants to go. I spent the last 2 weeks twerking for Spurs, and then we've got Oscar Bob, who's just been hailed as the saviour of our front line, who's come off the back of a leg injury, had a great game against Wolves, has done fuck all in the last 2 games, and this is the level that like the squad is at, and we're wondering why we're not looking like a coherent like title challenging team at this point. I mean, obviously we played 3 games, but and I totally understand anybody who says that you can't come to any conclusions after 3 games, but my issue is that we're coming to. This isn't me drawing new conclusions from 3 games. These are reinforcing the conclusions that I came to last season, and nothing is changing. Nothing is different about this opening. Obviously, apart from the Wolves game, but Wolves are going to probably be fucking 17th if they don't get relegated this season. Like, they're not the kind of team that you should be benchmarking what this squad is capable of based on the games against. And yeah, we're just in a situation where like too much of this squad has been allowed to drift. And, we've got a few players in the squad, and one of them, I'm going to say it, like players like John Stones, for example, he's only here because he wants to sit out his nice, tasty contract for the last year. Like, Pep wanted him gone, as you saw through the Club World Cup minutes that he had. He obviously hasn't been able to get rid of him. There's too many players who are just like, the club would happily get rid of. But they're all just like, well, why should I? I've got a nice contract. Now, it looks like we might get a Kanji out the door tomorrow. We might. But we also might not. And then what? Gundogan, we might get rid of him tomorrow. We might not. And then what? And then you know what I mean? Like, we haven't got a squad full of players who are hurting and desperate to sort of right the wrongs of last season. We've got half a squad of people who like we want to get rid of or would get rid of if decent bids came in for him, but they're still here. And that mentality that mentality does not equal title winning mentality. That's just a mentality of players who.
Let me ask you a question, though, Joe.
Let
me ask you a question, though, right? You're speaking about mentality, but in terms of what about quality? Do you even think the players are good enough?
I think they're a. God. We're kind of unfortunate in today's game that. Today specifically, that we came into it finding out that Foden and Cherky are both injured, because that's 2 of our like most talented players in that sort of final third of the pitch just not available to us. And hopefully Foden's here after the international break will help raise that level a little bit. The midfield I thought was fine at the start of the game. The defensive line, obviously, like you say, the quality in the defensive line is a real concern when Gvardiol is not available. I think he raises the level of the back line like quite significantly. Right back is a position where we're hoping that we can just Delfor Zinchenko it for a year, and we don't have the level of squad around them to allow them to Delfor Zinchenko it for a year. Because I think back in when it was Delph and Zinchenko, everything else in the squad was ticking so well that one player didn't make that much of a difference. Whereas now the squad is so, like, as you said there, fragile and so like incapable of taking any sort of setback that having one player in your team who's guaranteed to give you a setback every single game is just not conducive to that. So yeah, I'd say the squad is, in terms of quality, it's definitely way off it compared to when we were actually like winning titles and stuff like that. But it's still there. It's just that it means nothing if the mentality of the entire squad as a whole, and it does seep out through the rest of the team. Like you saw it today, as Danny said before. As soon as that penalty gets done by one of the most fucking ridiculous errors I've ever seen from a professional footballer in my life, with Nunes just it's not like there was a thing that made his arm go up there. It just happened for no reason. And as soon as the team sees that, it's just another, well, here we go again. And then that's it. Then, as Danny said, it was never in doubt that City weren't scoring a goal from that point on. So, yeah, it's... God, I know it's only 3 games, but fuck me, we are not seeing anything we're not seeing anything that tells me that we're going to see a massive change from last season so far.
All right, big up Herbo, man. Yeah, smash these likes up on the way in, people. Links are in description as well. Follow up the channel's chart. Sorry, Jay, what you saying, man?
I'm just fucking had enough, man, to be honest. Fucking had enough of it. I think we've just got a team full of bitches, man. Like, they're all just soft little marshmallows who've got no fight in them whatsoever. Like, as soon as they face adversity, we just fucking crumble, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had my script written after the first like 50, 60 minutes today about how much more comfortable we looked with Cousinov in the team, and like that we actually did look like we was in a little bit of control. But then you get the fucking brain dead players who do the same shit every year. Like you can rely on players to throw in a good performance every now and again, but if they've got this in the locker, then they can't be in the fucking team, man. Like, I'm done with Núñez now. Like, the last couple of months have made me forget what he did to me in the derby last year. But now I remember now. And he's opened my eyes again. Keep him out of the fucking team or get a right back tomorrow, because I'm done with it. I can't watch him anymore. He cost us the game, man. And the players like Cousinov and Rodri and Trafford, who all had good games and were all solid, I've been stabbed in the back off this fucking idiot at right back who's done this to us. Like, he's cost us the game, because the rest of the players then, when it goes to one all go into the shells and turn into little pussies, man. Haaland's a pussy old mate, a bad one. Like, what did he do? Like, what did he do when he's faced with adversity? Fucking walks about up front, throwing his arms up and down, like, and he should have buried the game. The game should have been dead and buried. And I can't keep going on about this guy with a 10-year contract that needs to do more. He needs to do more. We've rewarded him with like the biggest contract in the fucking world, man. And he's walking around up front. He's a proper beta male, man. You're supposed to be a captain. Like, grab the game by the scruff of its neck. Fucking slam into a centre-back. Like, do something. I just need someone to give me something, man. Or show a bit of fight. Like, that's what we're missing. We're missing fighters from the old days. And I just feel like we're such a nice team now, man, that the fear factor's gone with City. Like, people look at us now and think, these are fucking soft, mate. We're going to run these off the park. Belabor must be going to these games, like, licking his lips, man. Like, the likes of Cassette, like, proper midfielders, licking the lips about the thought of playing against Manchester City and how fucking soft we are. Like, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And it's not just a 3-game issue, right? Because I know everyone's talking about, oh, it's only 3 games. It's still early yet. No, it's not. This is 12 months this has been going on for.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a continuation of last year. So the same problems are still around from last October onwards. So I don't see it as 3 games, because it should have been sorted now. And it's fucking not. If anything, it's got worse. So something needs to change, and change soon, man. Because it's too much. I can't go into that fucking derby and lose the next game, because I don't know what I'll do. I'll end up fucking flipping my house upside down and moving to Thailand or something, man, because I can't put up with it.
Bad enough. It's bad enough they're already ahead of us in the table. After all the shit we've been giving them for the last week or two, they're ahead of us on the table.
I've been laughing at that club all week, and we're fucking behind them in the Premier League. And they're some of the worst footballers I've ever seen in my life. And we've managed to drop to that level. It's fucking pathetic, man. But yeah, on the whole, I thought we was relatively comfortable for the first 50 minutes, and then, like I say, one bit of adversity, everyone fucking disappears. But you know what? Let's all reward them with a new contract. Give them all a fucking wage rise like we always do. So, yeah. I'm going to breathe and let Tarek talk for a minute.
Oh, come on, Tarek, man. What you
Nah,
saying?
I don't really have much to say, because, the timing of the game this morning was I went to church. So I only saw the first half. And
Oh, you saw the good bit then?
I was like, when I went to church, we were up 1-0. And obviously I did not pray for the right things, because as I'm sitting there, my Apple Watch is like going crazy and I'm trying to pay attention. And I don't know if it's good or bad. And so then when you get out and you see how bad it is to give up 2 goals in the second half, that's kind of disappointing. And I wanted to be on here because I haven't had a chance to watch it back yet. I was out, and so I've got it ready to go later to watch the second half. But I wanted to just see the response. I've already committed, as you can see. I've got the orange in the background because my college football team is playing. I refuse to let City ruin my weekend. So I'm going to find a way to move on. Like Jay said, I don't want to turn things over, flip the house, all that kind of stuff. So
you don't want to move to Thailand.
I've already committed that I'm going to not let City ruin my week. Now, if I lose this game later tonight, then I will really be upset. But, it's just disappointing. I hear Jay, I hear Joe, I hear the passion and the frustration because, again, it's a lot of the same mistakes, a lot of the same issues that haven't fully been addressed, and that's disappointing for this team. Outdoor binge. It's Miami, University of Miami, the Hurricanes.
You know what it is for me? Is I just think we've got a lot of mid players in this squad, man. And I'm interested to hear what you guys say on this because I'm like Danny. I know you mentioned that you think the squad's good enough, but I look at the team, man. And I think we've got good players. Yeah, I think we've got good players, but I don't think we've got that many world class players. How many genuine world class players do we have in this squad right now?
One, Rodri. That's it.
But how many world class players does Brighton have? Is it about world class players, or is it about the players that are on the pitch just doing their job?
Have world class mentality. That's what it's about, man, and that's why I wanted Rodrigo so much. Yeah, and that's why I was banging on about Rodrigo because I think it's the mentality that we lack, and the mentality because I don't think the players are that great. I think the downgrade that we've voluntarily accepted over the last 2 years since the treble is wild, bro. Wild. Like, how does this football club not have a right back? You've just let the greatest Premier League right back leave your football club, and you're not replacing him with anybody. Not one right back in the world apparently is good enough for this Manchester City team. That's what they're telling me. They're telling me they don't think there's anybody out there in the world that is good enough to play right back.
We're not ruthless enough with our transfer strategies either. We're just not ruthless enough. Like, if we wanted to go and get Livramento this summer, I am convinced we could have fucking done it if we really wanted to. But we'll fucking pussyfoot around, arguing about the fee that we're going to give him. And if we really wanted to go and get that guy, we could have fucking done it, right? Do you know what I mean? Liverpool upset the apple cart with Isak, even though they said that he didn't want him to go. I don't know whether it'll definitely happen or not, but they were ruthless with who they wanted, innit? And they go and slam money down on the table, get in his ear, and we do nothing, man. We sit back like the nice guys, and we're showing no fight or want to even start competing again. Like, we're doing all these nice deals, like 35 million here and there, a couple of nice bargains and stuff like that for some good players. But we've not fucking gone out and made a statement after our worst season in a decade last year. There's been no statement signing whatsoever.
But is that a lack of trying though? I mean, because again, we went for Verts. We went for Verts.
Yeah.
But again, probably not ruthless enough there. And he's shit anyway, man. I'm sick. I've watched him again today. He's fucking crap. So, but yeah, I do get what you mean. Like, but I think we probably should have got him if we tried fucking harder as well.
Yeah. I think we should just throw it. I genuinely, if we put in 100 million bid for Livramento tomorrow, I would not bat an eyelid. I'd be absolutely fine with that. Like, that's the level we're at now with right back. It should be sorted. Like, there's no, like, I think that letting Kyle Walker go and then having Rico Lewis, and look, I like Rico Lewis, but he's only good when the team's good, and that's a problem because the team's not good. And Mateus Nunes, who is a player who will throw a game for you at any minute if he's given the opportunity to. Having Kyle Walker leave and having those two be your right backs is like letting Edison leave and then saying, right, Ortega, you're our number one now. It's like it's such a downgrade and such a departure from, like, Kyle Walker is in kind of like Edison, to be honest. Edison is a freak one-off goalkeeper that you're never going to get again in that style. Kyle Walker's exactly the same. You're never going to get a right back like Kyle Walker again. Like, athletically, he's just like so unlike anything that's been before him or exists in the world now. But we've not even tried. Like, we've just gone, oh, you know what? Like, well, like say Livramento, we reckon he's only worth like 65 mil. Like, are you all right with that, Newcastle? Newcastle have obviously gone no. And then we've just gone, oh, well, right you are, Newcastle. Right, we'll just sack it off for a season. We'll come back next year. When he's probably going to have signed a new deal by then if he hasn't, because Newcastle are going to be desperate. If Isak goes tomorrow, which he probably will, then Newcastle are going to double down on all the players that they've got there currently, get them all on nice new contracts with either massive release clauses or specifically with no release clause. So
well, Joe, here's the thing though for me. It's like, you don't need to get Livramento if you can't afford him or you can't get him. Like, just go and get a short-term option. Dumfries was there. Olayena's there. Munoz is there. That's just off the top of my head. Yeah, that you could have got in for a couple of... Because remember, there's a lot to... We need to get a centre-back next year, maybe two. We're going to need a midfielder, maybe two. We might need two wingers next year. So if you just go and get a right-back this summer that can do your job for 2-3 seasons, you can revisit the right-back in a couple of years to go and get like a worldie. Munoz is better than what we've got. Olayena's better than what we've got. and the other geezer's better though. Dumfries. Yeah, for 15 million euros he could have got him for. And people were shitting on him all the time saying he's dog shit. He's got the 2 Champions League finals in 3 years. And we've got Rico Lewis and Nunes, who are both not right backs, playing at right back. Like, this is the thing for me. It's like, I don't know, man. I just feel that, like, this is like, it got off to such a good start. I really liked our transfer business. I thought these 3 signings that we've made here, I ain't ignoring that, but I just don't think we've kicked on enough. I don't think we've got enough top talent in the team, in the squad, where if a couple of them get injured, I think the drop-off is absolutely mad. And I don't know why, but there's a lot of people in this fan base, that are glazing mid-players, mate. You know, like Doku, 1 assist for Haaland in 3 seasons now. People glaze him. Doesn't score a lot of goals. Savio, 1 goal in the Premier League, wanted to leave, and people was on the knees to keep him. You know what I mean? Bob's our best winger still, and he still shouldn't be starting week in, week out for this football club, man. That's just the truth. That's where we're at, man. We need legit ballers at this football club, man. We need Elise's, players like Elise that are getting 50 GNA in their first season.
This is my ultimate.
In his first year at Bayern.
This is my biggest problem. Like, in this time where we've had this kind of down, for lack of a better word, downgrade, and it's probably the best one that we have, to be honest, of this squad. We have seen players of the quality that should be at this club move around in that time for not silly fees either.
They're not even expensive, are they?
Exactly. Elise, as you say, 35 mil was it? You went to Bayern for. Like, where were we when that happened?
Did anyone see João Neves' hat trick yesterday? I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. João Neves is a perfect example. We were hearing 120 mil for this guy when he was in January, and then it came to the summer and suddenly it's 60 mil to PSG, and it's like, again, where were we when that happened? Then you've got the right back situation. Frimpong's gone in that time. Where were we when that happened? He's better than what we've got now. Who else is there? Timber. He's gone to Arsenal. Have picked him up. He looks like a brilliant right back. Where were we when that happened? It's just because we've had it's Kyle, because Kyle Walker's been there. Obviously, we had that brief period of time where it was him and Cancelo, but Cancelo's a bit of a dickhead, so he's gone. But we let Cancelo go, and fair enough for a time. Rico Lewis, having him there as the alternative to Kyle Walker was absolutely fine. I think if Kyle Walker's your first choice right back, that is okay. I'm fine with one of Rico Lewis or Nunes being the backup to a top quality right back. That is fine. But the point is that we've let Walker go and we've just settled for 2 backups, as you say. Why have we been so inactive in the right back front when Kyle Walker was finished for about 18 months before he actually finally left?
That was one of the worst things that happened. Pep keeping him around,
The writing was on the wall with the right back situation for so long, and we still haven't actually fixed it now. Like, Kyle Walker's been gone for 6 months and they haven't done anything about it. It's so bizarre, and I'm not saying that's the sole purpose, the sole reason for everything going wrong with the club at the moment. It's not, but it's kind of a demonstration of just kind of like the sleepwalk that the club has done into the state of the team now compared to the last, the treble. Obviously, the treble, a freak season that you're never going to repeat again, but. There are ways to downgrade from that to a level where it's still acceptable, and we, instead of dropping from that level to that level, we've dropped from that level to somewhere down there. When
you lose a top player, that's been vital to your success over a period of years, that delivers every single year, you have to get somebody who can do similar to that. So when Riyad Mahrez left the football club, the club should have just stuck with Cole Palmer, but the club needed to get somebody, who had the ability and ideally had done it to get the same sort of numbers and get the same sort of output. Yeah, and I remember when we sold this guy, I was saying on the streams, I say we are going to miss his GNA. Yeah, we went out and bought Doku, a completely different type of player who'd not proven anything anywhere. Yeah, and we've done it with Kyle Walker. Yeah, I know he fell off over the last couple of years, but fundamentally, you still need to replace greatest Premier League right back of all time. We've not done that. Yeah, then you've had centre-back issues. You know what I mean? Our centre-backs have declined. It's just like, bro, I don't know, man. For me, tomorrow, mate, the transfer window's open. There is just no reason why Viana cannot go in tomorrow and put a bid on the table for a right back. Yeah, there's right backs out there. Go to Forest and put 25 mil on the table for Aina. Go to Palace and put 50 million quid on Munoz. Because this could be the difference, by the way, for us getting top 5 and not getting top 5. Because, by the way, this could be tough. I don't think we're in a title race right now, man, but this top 5 race is going to be tough. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. We don't have a right back. We need a right back at the football club. We need to start righting the wrongs, man. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get Livramento next summer anyway. So what's the point in waiting and going, oh, we'll get Livramento next year? We're probably going to sign a new contract. Yeah, there's 7 hours left tomorrow of the day, yeah? Go in there and put a bid down. It's not too late beyond belief. It's not too late. I've seen it. You've seen it before. Yeah, transfer deadline day. We've all seen the stories. Harry Redknapp talking about it. City done it with Robinho, all that kind of shit. We know teams can get deals done on the last day of the window. But you can't fuck about. You've got to pay up what the opposition wants and you've got to get the deal done. But we can definitely get a right back in this football club. There must be a right back out there that we can get that's better than what we currently have. Must be.
There has to be, man. There has to be something, bro. It's a big world out there, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to broaden our fishnet and look harder because it's not been enough, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not trying harder to address the required areas, man. There's gaping holes in this team. There's gaping holes today, man. We're moving like a prostitute today, bro. You know what I mean? Legs wide open, like for a fucking tenner. For a fucking tenner, the legs are open for a fucking tenner, bro. You know what I mean? We're not even premium escorts. We're fucking cheap corner ones, man.
Man, they were open for James Milner of all people.
Moving mad, bro.
James Milner in 2025.
This is what I'm saying, man. I'm having to wear the dressing gown today, bro, because this is how I feel, bro. You know what I mean? I'm sleeping through the day. I just woke up, man. That's why I'm late on this stream. I didn't even want to come on here today, man. But I thought, you know what? If one of the boys asked me to go to war, I go to war. I'm not like some of these players. You know what I mean? I show my face. I just want to say though, like, I feel sorry for one or two people, but more importantly, I'm upset because I think the reality is, man, that this is our level now, guys, man. I think this is our level.
Yeah, look. I tell you, this is a player that I feel sorry for.
So do I. He was
Rodri.
good as well, you know. He was good.
It was good, and I honestly believe that Rodri's fuming, mate. Yeah, he said a couple of things today. Yeah, he said, "I'm not Messi. I'm not going to come back and make this team win and win. This is a collective. When we've won in the past, I needed all my teammates. For sure, I have to recover and find my best level. It's not because I'm back. We're going to win. It's a collective sport. Hopefully, after the break, we can come back and do much better."
This should be our captain, by the way. This guy should be our fucking captain. I can't believe he's still not after all the years of the shit we've had for Kyle Walker and all that bollocks. I can't believe Rodri's still not the captain of this football club, man.
But then he also come out then after that and said that thing about
kids' mistakes.
We're making kids' mistakes. And I just, listen, I like hearing players tell the truth, yeah. But at the same time, I heard it from Bernardo Silva last year. I heard Kevin De Bruyne come out last year and say our midfield's soft. It's a soft team. Yeah, we get beat off the ball with soft team. And now he's saying this. And that just proves the point. We've not fixed last year. This is a continuation of last year. Now, how you fix it, I don't know. Just stick Nico Gonzalez and Rodri in there. Yeah, I don't know what you got to do. But for me, it all comes through desire. Yeah, it all comes through desire. I think there's too many players in that team, yeah, that are even just not quite good enough, or they don't have the desire anymore. Yeah, and obviously the mentality. I actually didn't think we played bad in the first half. I actually think we played quite well in the first half. I thought the system that Pep put out in that first half was very good.
We should have been 3-0 up, innit?
We should have been 3-0
up. That's the issue.
But we're not clinical enough. We're not clinical enough. And then as soon as something goes wrong against us, that's it. We were cooked. And just like the Tottenham game, yeah, last 10 minutes of the Tottenham game, where we should have been the ones pressing them to try and get back in, they were battering us. And the same happened today against Brighton.
Brighton with a better team after 1-1. Yeah.
It goes to 1-1. You think, right, City going to come alive here and they're going to, be peppering Brighton's goal. And it's the opposite. Brighton are peppering us. And then even when they went 2-0 up, the last 5 minutes, they were still having the best of it, man. You know, for me, I don't know. I just think that the players are not good enough. And the only way this mentality thing gets sorted out, yeah, is by winning football matches. But winning a lot and winning consistently. So then when they do go down, yeah, they're like, no, we can do this. We can come back with, we're on a 10-match winning streak or whatever. And
specifically, I don't want it to be a handsome win. I want it to be the ugliest fucking win you've ever seen. Winning 4-0 against a crappy team is not
just to win.
The derby is a perfect opportunity. You get the ugliest, scrappiest, take one for the team win. Get a last-minute winner. Get players sent off. That's the kind of mentality I want to see.
We're going to go in scared to lose that game, though, now.
It
wouldn't surprise me.
I am very, very nervous.
Pep's going to overthink it anyway.
If it's another 0-0 like Old Trafford last year, because we'll be that scared to lose it that I don't even think he'll take the risk to go and try and win the game. It would not surprise 100%. Me one bit if that's 0-0.
I mean, we always lose to them at home anyway.
Which is
concerning.
sickening. It's sick. And you know what? When you think about it, Brighton were 18th before we played them today. 18th in the Premier League, yeah?
They were shit last week as well.
Exactly.
Everton battered them.
Tottenham Hotspur, everyone's been gassing these guys up like they're some special team as well. They got absolutely pummeled off Bournemouth yesterday. They got absolutely battered. So they're nothing special either. So we're getting beat off mid-table mediocrity, man. They're not even like good sides. I'm not having that Brighton and Spurs should be beating us. And when they've dropped stinkers in their other games, they ain't all that. And we've just bent over for them, man. It's pathetic. It's honestly a fucking joke.
I think the craziest thing about it is, I mean, so we talk about like the lack of like hunger and like lack of everything like that, and I absolutely agree that doesn't feel like it's there at all. But like, I don't think you need hunger to just not fall to pieces after one mistake in the, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was effectively just a case of Núñez gave away that penalty and the entire team just collapsed. Like, I don't know what you call it. It's not hunger. That's like, that's composure. That's just like, you know, knowing that everything isn't going to shit because of one thing that's gone against you. It's like a proper like glass jaw mentality where like the moment that we take one punch, it's just like, oh right, oh yeah, it's like, oh shit, like I'm in a boxing match here. Like, what do I do? And then like all of a sudden you don't know what to defend. You don't know, you overdo it. Like every time that Brighton attacked us from that point on, we had 3 or 4 defenders scurrying around every single Brighton player, not knowing how to like who's going to tackle him, who's going to do what. You saw it with the goal that we gave away. Like obviously, everyone's seen the picture of that back four. And how fucking disgraceful it was, but
leadership,
the reason,
leadership,
but the reason, you know what, Jay,
it wasn't even a back four. It was a back three.
It was a back three, and obviously then when the ball comes through to the Brighton player, the reason why Trafford and whichever defender it was it Stones have the mix up on the
Ait-Nouri, I think.
Ait-Nouri, yeah. The reason why they have the mix up is because everyone's just panicking. Like everyone's just like, oh shit, like we've got to stop this guy. They both fall over each other. Diaz has the recovery pace of Harry Maguire with a hamstring injury at that point.
He was jogging as well.
Like he was if he'd have sprinted, he could have easily slid in the way of that and stopped it, but he didn't. And then lo and behold, they've got a tap in. It's 2-1, but it's all just a case of one thing goes against us. And we're still stuck in the last season mentality of like, oh, well, this is it. It's happening again. And then lo and behold, it does happen again because everyone expects. And that's look, if that was at the Etihad and they've got 50,000 people there all expecting it to happen again, I can kind of understand that because the crowd kind of get the players on edge and stuff like that. But away from home where there's like only a few thousand City fans there, that shouldn't be happening. Like that is down to the 11 players on the pitch to not do that. And they have. And we've seen it so many times in the last 12 months that I refuse to hear it from anyone who says that we can't say anything after 3 games because it's not, as Jay said before, it's not 3 games. It's 12 months. And yeah, it's just a disgrace.
Especially going into the next 2 games as well, which we lost both of them last year. Yeah, I'm saying like you listen, I don't see this squad being ready to win the league, man. You know what I'm saying right now, based on what I'm seeing. And I don't expect us to get 6 points in the next 2 games, which means I think we'll be even further away from Liverpool by the end of them 2 games. So, yeah, let me do these.
Talking about the league, though, bro, that's crazy talk right now. You know what I'm saying? This is
that's what I'm saying.
I'm seeing like fucking 8th place shit, bro. I really am. I weren't even convinced by Wolves either. By the way, I weren't convinced.
Yeah.
I hear the frustration and I get it, but do we? And I think it was Joe who said it earlier. It is still week 3. It's still match day 3. Or is it 3 or 4?
I'm even more concerned than Tarek, bro.
So,
I dread to think what we're going to be in a few more weeks.
To me, when you've got the turnover that we've had in the squad, it's going. We should have known it was going to take some amount of time for them to kind of gel and kind of come together and to learn how to play together, right? Again. Am I saying that we're going to win the league? No, I'm not saying that. Do I think we're going to be top 5? Sure, I do. I guess I understand the frustration because I have it myself. But I also don't want to get too far over our skis in the idea that it's over. It's I mean, no disrespect to Steve, but 8th place sounds crazy to me right now. Now, again, maybe we end up in 8th place, and maybe Steve ends up being right. I just think it's a little early to just go. I know, that's perfectly fair. I'm not trying to criticize you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it just feels really early to make the definitive statements that we're making. It's fair to say, I think that it's fair to say, hey, we have not played great. But I think there's still room for us to improve, and I think we will improve over time. We've typically been poor in the beginning of the season. We've been more poor this season than in seasons past, so that's fair. Doesn't help that Foden is out, Turkey's out. We're missing big players. It like I said, it's a little. It feels to me a little early to effectively write off the season.
No, fair dues. Listen, let me come to some of these chats, man. Then we'll go through like the goals and the defense, midfield, and attack, and we'll speak about the manager as well. Shout out, cool guy says, big up all the panel. Sorry, LB, I don't agree with you glazing 8 Norris so much. He may be good going forward, but defensively really poor. Well, I think I'd drop him.
He got put on skates today by.
He was awful today.
Yeah, poor today.
I'd play Gvardiol. I think right now we just need to go back to basics, have a defense that can defend, and then when we get a little bit more confident, then maybe you play your right Norris. Yeah. But right now, I'd be sticking Gvardiol left back and just try to lock off the defense, man.
I don't even think defending was his issue today, though. I think he just gave the ball away too many times.
I think he was awful.
Oh no, I think he got cut defensively as well. The people was megging him and everything, like just running him right. And then he got turned inside out for the second goal as well. Like he was all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah. Nah, big up, man. Big up James as well. Says we are still too easy to bully because we are coasting at 1-0 with no killer instinct. Why won't our wingers cross? Attack is as bad as the defense, says James. Yeah, I see a lot of people asking about that wingers. Big up Ado as well. Says Rodri called out the entire board and Pep with his comments. The players that are on the field are not good enough. He's crying for quality of players. I think so as well. I think he's fuming, bro. I'll be real. I do. Big up Benno says current crop not good enough to play the system. Facts, says Benno. I'm with you, bro. Big up yours truly says since last season Pep.
What is the system, though, man? The system's shit.
Well, I don't think the system was. I thought the first half we played good. I thought the system was good. Yeah, we're just not clinical enough.
We played hoofball for most of that game. It was so annoying watching us just hoof it long all game. Like why?
But I thought the first half the long balls were working. I thought we were winning quite a lot of the second balls. Marmoush was winning a lot of the second balls, and that first Haaland chance where he got put through, that was a long ball. That was going long.
But the moment you bring Marmoush off. And then you just it came to 1-1 and then we're just still hoofing it long, even though nothing's sticking and it's not happening over and over again. It just felt like it just...
Well, in hindsight, that was obviously not great. But Marmoush did not start the second one. I mean, I thought... I don't actually agree with people saying the game changed on the penalty. I thought we were crap as soon as the second half started, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I thought we were crap for most of the game, yeah.
Well, Marmoush then just didn't play well. So obviously he took him off for Doku, but then we couldn't go long because Doku wasn't winning as the long balls that Marmoush was winning. But big up yours truly says, since last season, Pep cost us 20 wins because of his tactics, but today it's both the players and him. Only Liverpool and Chelsea has better players than us. 1 in 13, part 2. Pep out, says yours truly. Okay, a couple of Pep outers. Big up Ash says, a bunch of players that follow instructions on nothing else. 0 threat on goal after going 1-0 up. There's no KDB to bail these players out with 0 impact, says Ash. Quality, lose the quality. You need to replace it, bro. Big up Neil says, Hugo Viana to be blamed. Listen, I just want to say, I've said this, I think Hugo Viana was set up to fail this fucking transfer window anyway. I said it before we signed a single player. So this is not reactionary. I said it before, and people in the chat watching all the time.
You did say it
before we signed a single player. I said I think Hugo Viana is going to be made to look bad in this window because he's so much shit to do. We need 5-6 quality players, which we've not brought in, and we need to let 5 or 6 players go, which we've not done. So for me, I have a look what he does next summer. Yeah, but I just think personally he's coming to a shit show. I think he has. I think he's coming to a shit show. No one wants to leave. Akanji don't want to leave. Stones don't want to leave. Gundogan don't want to leave. Yeah, the one player that probably out of the ones that we probably could have kept, Kevin De Bruyne, actually wanted to stay. We decided to get rid of. So for me, I'm not going to blame Hugo Viana. Right back thing is kind of indefensible. You have to cook him for that.
Yeah,
fair play.
Oh, yeah.
But I just think that he was tasked.
But he's made moves in the other areas of the pitch where we all agreed that we needed something to happen. Maybe with the exception of centre back, but he's like everywhere else that we've needed something to happen. He has done something. Like Reinders, no one's complaining about in terms of the quality of centre mid. Obviously,
good player.
Eight Nore, like a lot of us were quite happy when he signed. I still think ultimately long term he will be good. It's just you don't really. It's
Agreed.
just unfortunate that he's been sort of thrown in at the start of the season where obviously it looks like nothing's really changed from last season. Cherke, I think we can all see the potential there. I think that'll be long term. So yeah, it's just he's done the right things.
Again,
it's just as you say, he's not been done.
How many times are you there saying?
Will be.
Yeah,
You know,
never
as well,
now.
LB. I respect the opinion that he's walked into a shit show, but what do you think they're dealing with over at Brighton? You know, they seem.
Oh
to,
yeah.
You know, like there's worse shit shows than ours, mate.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I just think
Do you
that like he's not going to be able. He wasn't going to be able to fix everything this summer because there was so much to do.
Do you think it's a failure on our part, and by our part I mean like the back room? Do you think it's a failure to have so many players whose contracts are ending in the same year? Like we have a big group that are like 2027, 2028, another group that's at 30 or whatever. And you end up like next season, we're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of players. This is their last season, right? And we're gonna have a lot of turnover, a lot of transition, as opposed to kind of spacing that out a little bit. And then you could get people out more consistently if they're not performing. I think it was, and I've said this everywhere I've been, I think it's a failure to go give Diaz 40 more years. I think that's, give him 2, if anything, but don't, 4 feels long. And then you got to look at who else is going to be, contracts expiring at that point. And so now you're going to have, just like this, you're going to have 4 or 5 people that all are going to expire in the same time. You're trying to backfill all those players, and you've got to keep them on for the next 4 years because they're all overpaid. It's poor squad planning, in my opinion.
It is, but we've always done this though. To be fair, like we've had this problem with Joe Hart, we had it with Dzeko, and the end result is you end up selling players for way cheaper than they're actually valued at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's annoying, but but then obviously, like from the club's point of view, you end up in a well, there you go, as priority number 1 sorted.
Yeah,
I think it's like you
can't wait to get fucking Donnarumma in who can't fucking kick a ball.
Yeah. And James Trafford, who can't save a shot, as we all saw today when he saved 2 or 3 of them. Glad that's been replaced with
Why
good also save shots.
This is not necessary, but whatever.
Yeah. So I think, as you say there, it's like from the club's point of view, I don't hate the idea that like we have these players who come in, do 7 or 8 years for us, and then maybe we don't get a great fee for them at the end of it. I think there are some exceptions like your Laportes and your Mahrezes who we've obviously let go for well below market value. Like those are just poor. But if we don't get a fee for John Stones or even Nathan Ake or someone at the end of their contract, I'm like, you know what? We got what we wanted out of them. Like if we only get 5 mil for a Kanji or something tomorrow, I'm like, you know what? We spent 15 mil. He won a treble. Off he goes. Like, I don't really care. But I just find it more annoying that as we've said this multiple times already today and elsewhere. It's just the level that comes in after them. That's where the poor squad planning is. It's that we don't have these, or it seems that we do. We have these world-class players like lined up in our minds as like, oh well, this is who will replace him. We'll get in Declan Rice, we'll get in Jude Bellingham, we'll get in whoever, and then as soon as we find out what the asking price is, we go, oh actually no, we don't really want those guys, so we'll get someone else instead. And I just feel like that we've ended up in a situation where with those elite top level players, Bellingham's a bit of a knobhead, but he's got an elite mentality. Declan Rice has got an elite top level player mentality. But when you don't do that and say you settle for a Nico G like 18 months later, has he got like an elite top level title winning mentality? Like I don't know, but he certainly doesn't have that sort of top the Haalands, the Rodris, that level of mentality. I just don't. The Gvardiol, I think, who's up there as well. I don't think he's got that. And that's the kind of, when you talk about sort of having these like mid players that we talked about this over the last couple of years. These players that in years gone by we would have looked at as squad players we're looking at these guys and being like, God, I hope Nico G starts every week. Like, oh God, I hope that Ray and Nouri starts every single week. And it's like those are players who would never have made it into our previous title winning teams. Like, they would not be in our best 11 in those teams. But now those are the players who we're looking at who have to be like our regular starters because they are the best options that we have in those positions currently, which is where the major drop off has been.
Which is why for me, bro, next summer, because obviously it's just fuck now, we're not going to sign anyone now. Next summer, I don't want any projects. Not one project. Every player that walks through the door next summer needs to be
a killer,
proven.
A bona fide,
You're not coming, like, for example, when we was talking about Rodrigo coming into the football club and that whole conversation was going on, I wasn't saying give Rodrigo a year. I was like, if this guy comes in, he's got to deliver straight away. We need to go and get in the players look at Elise, man. Elise goes to Bayern Munich and got in his first season 50 GA in his first year. These are the type of quality player that we need to be signing. And we've got a guy who's scored 1 Prem goal, bro. And then the other guy on the other wing's got 1 assist to Haaland in 2 years. And you've got Elise getting 50 GA in his first season.
And he's homegrown. I was so stupid. It's so mental that we never went for that. Like he ticked every single box needed for us to have like a replacement for Mahrez in that right wing, and we just let him go to Bayern.
Well, we got him. We got Savio because we got him on the cheap, man. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Be an MFC, man.
I
actually think we should do this rule, You know, like next season, in the window, I think we should do this rule where unless you're a generational player, I don't think we should get anyone under 25. I think you should get fucking experienced geezers, man. You know, veterans. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a generational talent, with the exception, then.
But you gotta be careful there, though. I don't want to do the whole United thing of signing Casemiro and Rafael Varane.
But that's 30. That's 30, bro. I'm talking 25,
27. 27. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I'm on board with that. I am on board with that.
Listen, I'll come to the super chats in a sec. Martin's joining from the services. Was at the game today, Martin. What are you saying, mate?
I'm tired. I'm annoyed. Pissed off. I'm annoyed at Pep actually today. Thought for 60 minutes we were fine. And then he decides to take our only creator off. He decides, hey, this is a good idea. I'll take my moose off the pitch. Well done, Pat, because that's a clever move. We all just sat there going, what? When his number came up, we were like, what? Where's that come from? And then the penalty, and then Kushinov's having a fabulous game, and then decides he wants to do UFC fighting, which was actually quite funny, actually. Nunes wants to play netball. And then, as I said, coming out, if the answer to the question is Jeremy Doku, Nico Riley, and Rico Lewis to change the game, what's the fucking question in the first place?
Great point.
I sat there with 20 minutes to go going, am I at a Carabao Cup game? With all due respect, when did we become Chelsea? When did we start going down this youth project of a 4-year plan? In all seriousness, and that's what gets me, is I've no problem with bringing in an O'Reilly or an Oscar Bob, but that's Oscar Bob's 3rd game on the bounce. Nico Riley's now your first sub in midfield. And I get it, and Rico, I'm like, they're not ready. They're ready to dip in and out, but they're not ready for game in, game out, full 90 minutes.
They shouldn't be coming off as like the game changers, man.
No, this is not the Carabao Cup.
But there was no one on the bench either. That bench was a fucking disgrace.
Well, there's my other thing, Jacob.
5 defenders and a goalkeeper on the bench. Like,
how have we got to 3 games in and we've got a plethora of injuries again?
Yeah.
What's happened?
The injuries are an absolute scandal.
Sorry. I mean, this is the one thing Liverpool fans did say. They said, Pep Linders is great, but he will flog these guys in training. Well, he clearly is, because he flogged bloody Cherky to a point where he's out for 2.5 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
It's like, what's your 2 creators are injured. I'm like, fairness. And by the way, don't forget, you're getting 1 player tomorrow, and that's Donnarumma. Do not expect anything else.
No, we ain't getting no one else.
No.
There's only one medical box, and that's Donnarumma. And I think that's, we're going to have to change the style.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do. We're going to have no choice on this.
I go back to treble year. I don't want to do this, but I'd go back to treble year. I put Haaland right back. Don't care about people telling me he can't play right back. Yeah, we don't have a right back, so put him at right back. Yeah, shove fucking... Oh, I don't even know, man.
Well, here's another thing. Sorry, can I ask you another question?
It should have been sorted out, man, and I've got to play Haaland right back.
Do you know, I've got a mate of mine who's a Wolves fan, and he said to me, Ryan ain't Noria, you'll love him going forward, but he won't be able to defend his way out of a paper bag. I texted him after the game and went, yeah, thanks for that. You spot on.
But I'm fine with that if you're gonna then play a remaining back four that helps to compensate for that in the same way that like we have done in the past when say Gvardiol's been spending half his time in the opposition box, but he's got 3 centre backs just sat there ready to cover for when the ball goes the other way. I'm fine with that being the case with Aït-Nouri, but we don't do that
because Núñez is there. But if you did play Cousin right back, then that would be that
exactly
would be eradicated because Aït-Nouri would be up the pitch then and would have a back 3 at the back ready to stop any quick counter attack. But if you play,
you need Josko fit though, innit, man?
Yeah, we need Gvardiol back big time. He's a massive loss. I don't think our defense is going to look good until Gvardiol's back. Basically.
Well, I in my previews, I've been saying after the international break, I put Gvardiol back at left back, man. I like Aït-Nouri. I think he's going to be mint, but I just think for the here and now, I just think we need a solid back four who just doesn't be shit, defensively. And for me, you've got to go Gvardiol left back.
And that's if he's back. Because didn't the Croatian people tweet out he's got ligament damage?
He's been in training 2 weeks, so I don't understand how he wouldn't be fit.
I don't know how we've played one pre-season game. They've had 8 weeks off. They've been around the world on the jolly.
We've got more injuries than most of the teams.
And we're suddenly back into the injury crisis that we were last season.
At what point
Did you see that bench today? Third game in. Third game in, and that's our bench.
Yep.
Yeah. At what point does the fact that we only played one pre-season feel like a bit of a problem to people? Because obviously I understand that in general, like obviously Pep loves to like not overload the team with pre-season games and just spend more time on the pitch, on the training pitch, and then have that first like 2 or 3 months of the season be about like sorting out the system and players and everything like that. But when we've had the summer that we've had, where we've brought in effectively 4 of our starting 11 is brand new, because obviously I'm not counting Oscar Bob as an established player who's been here for ages. So Bob, Reinders, Aït-Nouri, and Trafford are all brand new, and this is a fourth game playing together if you count Palermo. Which do we really count Palermo? But like they've not had enough time on the pitch together. It's no wonder we look so undercooked at this point of the season, and I don't see that chip. With the majority of our squad going on international duty as well, it's not like we've got the next 2 weeks of them all to work on it and gel together. So,
but I think actually the international break can help us because if some of our players can play. Like in that first half, right? How many loose passes was there in that first half?
It was so bad, shocking.
That's rusting a stat. So I actually want some of the City players to play, and I know it's a risk because they might get injured, but at the same time, I think they need to play. I think they need to get some minutes and then hopefully come back after the international break with 2 games under the belt and a little bit better because we are looking mad rusty.
Do you know what I do? And people are going to think this is a bit dramatic. I'd give a certain player a shot to the system right now.
Haaland.
Against United, and putting my motion in number 9.
That's all well and good, but who are you playing on the wing? Well, actually, I don't mind playing Doku on the wing.
I don't mind a Bob Mamouche.
Our best runner
because I think those 3 will rotate.
Yeah.
Remember the false 9 we had when all 3 of them could rotate and go into different areas? I think they look more fluid like that. But I'm sorry, Haaland reminded me of, them Bobo dolls that just stand there rocking about when you hit them a bit. He just reminded me of that.
He's shit, man. He's shit.
He just stood there. You paid $500,000 basic. No bonus, basic.
What happens if you drop him and then we lose again? And now you've just pissed him off.
And no one else scores.
He's pissed off anyway, bro.
Everyone's pissed off anyway.
You know what I'm saying? You can tell. You're pissed off, man.
Well, LB, we've been going on the last few weeks saying competition's a good thing. I was saying Rodrigo Marmoush would get pissed off, and you didn't have a problem with that. So why is this a problem now?
Hang on a
He still
minute.
scored, didn't he? Though
He did his job today, though. As far as I'm concerned,
He did his job, man. He'll be going.
No, LB, he didn't
Nah,
do his job.
I'm kind of
Come on,
with
bro.
Jay.
No, he
I'm
didn't.
kind of with Jay on this
Hang on a
one.
minute. Hang on a minute.
No,
hang
he
on a minute,
didn't
right.
do his job. How
Hang
did
on
he
a
do his
minute.
job?
We 1-0 up. He
He
scored
scored
the
his
goal.
goal, man.
He
Mate,
scored the goal.
honestly,
We 1-0 up. Nunes
Marmoush
decides
did
to play net ball.
99% of that goal, and he taps it in. And apart from that, he did
I
fuck
need
all all
tap-ins,
game.
bro.
That's his job.
I
To
need
put the
tap-ins.
ball in the back of the net.
Bro, he missed the one-on-one, which is bread and butter.
But I tell you why you missed that, yeah, because he's
running
not had a chance like that in about 8 months, mate.
'Cause he
He never
can't
gets
dribble.
He never gets put through anymore on goal.
His
Right,
right
yeah,
foot
I
was
guess
tacking his left. His right foot was tacking his fucking left foot when he was running through on goal. It's
No,
stuck
do you know
under
what
the
worries me?
bloodline.
No, but do you know why I mention it is? I think our plays too directly around him. Everything is
Was
to
so
Haaland.
one-dimensional, yeah. Was so fucking
And
one-dimensional.
I think it would give. I know I'm slagging off Doku and Sabino. I get it. I understand they should be doing better, especially Doku, third year in. But it would just try something different. Just try it.
I'd
not
sooner
saying
change the
drop
system,
it.
Martin. Before I
Same.
try something different, mate.
I didn't
Well,
know, man.
You heard
Just-
Pep's quote on that. I don't change
He
after
scored
that.
3 goals in 3
18.
games, and you want to drop him. I don't agree with that, man. Listen,
Pep's
I
gonna
think
if we're signing Donnarumma tomorrow, then Pep's going to have to fucking change, because he's not going to. Donnarumma's going to be worse for the build up out the back and goalkeeper stuff than anyone else. Like it's going to be.
I just don't think
changes
dropping
coming.
Haaland is what I look at.
Anyone
today,
remember
when we
Wimbledon?
drop Haaland, man. That's not it, man. That's
Are we
not
getting
it, man.
Effin Akuku up front?
You can't.
The guy scored
I don't think you
88
should
Premier
drop
League
it.
goals in about
I
Premier
don't
League
think you
games.
should drop him, right? For especially for United, but you can't look me in the eyes and tell me that he's done his job, man. The last 3 games, just because he scored 3 goals.
If our
can't.
next game,
He's played
if
I
shit.
think he's missing. I think he's missing chances. But who else is having the chances, man?
Bro, he's played shit, and because he's up there, our only style of play is to feed this guy. And if he's not putting those one-on-ones in, there's no point in fucking being there. There's just not.
I think if
I'm
our
not
next
gonna-
game, if our next game was like a Bournemouth or something, maybe not Bournemouth because they're actually good, but if our next game was like an Ipswich or Ipswich aren't in the league, or they're Burnley. Let's say Burnley, for example, I'd be like, sweet, drop Haaland, show him that someone else is there ready to take his place and all that stuff like that. But I just think for the derby, you can't do it. Like I think it's just, especially seeing as I'm with you, Jay.
I'm
That I
probably
think
going,
he did miss multiple chances to make it 2 or 3, and that is annoying.
killed the
But ultimately, he's the only guy scoring goals apart from that Wolves game. Like and this is the problem all of last season as well. Like if Haaland doesn't score, it's very unlikely that we do score.
But I think that's the
And,
way
like,
we play as well, though. That everything has to go through him, or everything's about setting
But
him
that's
up.
But that's
which
how
it
the
should
club
be.
have decided to go that way.
Well, he's got to do his fucking job better than
Well,
LB.
the thing is as well with that, bro. Yeah, like you could argue that we're not going for him as much as we should because the wingers aren't really providing for him. You know, the wingers can't even put a good ball in.
No, but it should be stay.
So,
And that's the thing. He's this a thing on these wingers. How
Yeah.
can we expect Sabino and Doku to get 20 G&A or
Yeah.
take 15 goals when we're saying they're meant to be providing Haaland?
yeah, and I'll tell you something
But bro,
else.
they
as well.
don't
The
provide.
system
Yeah, but
doesn't
no,
even
wait a sec,
provide
wait a
for
sec.
it.
They don't do that. They don't do anything. They don't score. They don't provide for Haaland.
So who's doing what then? This is what I mean.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'd
Hey,
happily sell
I've
both
seen
Doku
wingers
and
put crosses.
Savino.
I've seen wingers put crosses on a plate on Haaland's head about 5
He does miss
times.
he does miss a lot of
and he
headers.
fucking spooned every single one of them.
He missed an header today in
It's
front of
on
us.
him as well.
He should
It's
have.
on him as well. He's got to put the fucking chances away.
Yeah.
I know his heading isn't very good, bro. I know that for a fact.
It's
but
shit.
I do
It's
think as
Do you know
well.
what it is? You know what it is to me? And maybe I'm being harsh, but I said something at the start of the season. The badge on the front is more important than any name on the back of the shirt now. That's the way I'm going with it. I don't care who you are. Everyone, if we're going to be ruthless, then we have to be ruthless with everyone.
I agree, but I think the problem is that Haaland has just scored the only goal of the game, so he's not top of the list of people who are being ruthless
So
with at
he's
this point.
protected.
Doku
He's
lives
not
in
protected.
Joe's
No,
rent free.
protect. Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah, protected would be if he'd have not scored and was beyond shit. But he has scored. That's not protected. That's just being rewarded for having scored a goal.
Goal masks.
But, so sorry. You want to replace
stinker.
Haaland, the guy who just scored, with Marmoush, who played and didn't score. Like that's what you want to do. So who's been protected there? The guy who scores goals or the guy who's yet to score a goal this season?
He'll always be
saying that. If it
protected.
wasn't for Mamouche, Haaland would have got the goal.
Exactly,
Mamouche
and it was Marmouche who put him through for the one-on-one as well.
It was.
Well,
That
keep him on the wing then.
keeper.
Keep on the wing and let him be an assist man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do with that? Like, he hasn't scored a goal.
I actually think, I don't know you guys. Do you know what? I thought Mamouche looked more natural, being more central today in that role.
Bro, we played today very similar to how we played against Newcastle last year. We went direct a lot more than we did against Spurs, which is what we should have done against Spurs, just like we did against Newcastle. Mamouche tucked in and played very central a lot, just like he did off Newcastle. Last year, Mamouche's best game was Newcastle at home. He's been bad. He's not had a good game, Mamouche, since the start of the season. He wasn't good in the Club World Cup. The first game today that we played like that system, he's had a good game again. That's how we should have played against Spurs.
Yeah,
we should have played
and then
that
Pep
midfield.
took him off.
Going along. Well, everybody. Well, he didn't start the second half well at all, man. And at that point, we were 1-0 up, man. You know what I mean? I think it was kind of justified. I thought second half he was poor, but then again,
I'm sorry. It's probably because I've travelled 550 miles to do this and watch that crap today. But the simple fact is, if I watched Oscar Bob, he was great getting into the box. What was with all the Rabonas when he got into the box?
I know there was a chance at 1-0 where he drilled past a couple of people and he just didn't shoot for some reason. Your job is to score.
He turned back on himself. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's crossing on the best.
No, I don't think he was great today. I think with Oscar Bob, it's like the guy shouldn't be starting week in, week out, but he is because there's no one else there.
Should have been Foden today, but where the fuck is he, man? What's the news on this guy? Where is it? Because he needs to get
got.
I'm fucking.
You know that
I'm sick of talking
about
the Van
der Beek challenge. It was that Van der Beek challenge.
In the summer when I said like we could do with probably keeping Echeverri, because I said you're not even going to be guaranteed that Foden's going to be fucking back to his best anyway. People was trying to tell me that Echeverri wouldn't get any minutes this year. I was like, what? You get loads of minutes, man. And then the third game in the season, Cherky and Foden.
He'd have easily come off the bench today.
Cherky's out for 2 months now as well.
He'd have easily come off the bench today. We had fucking no one to bring on.
Exactly. No. Fact. Right, listen.
I had my kit on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Let me come to somebody's chat. Martin, are you staying or are you going?
I'm going to jump. Anyway, big up.
Right, let me come to somebody. Man, and then I want to go through like the goals and the defense and the midfield. We'll talk about some individual performances as well, because there were a couple of decent performances out there. I can't lie. We got JSW says, LB, what do you think of Lookman on loan? I like Lookman, man, and to be honest with you, at this point, I'd take him. But there's a lot of players that I wouldn't have took 3 months ago that I would have took now. Jared Bowen.
I mentioned Lookman myself.
Bowen again.
Bowen scored again.
By the way, did you see his run to
that run was crazy.
Bro, the thing is, this is where it's funny, right? It's because people will go, I can't believe you want Bowen at the club. I'm like, no, you don't get it, do you? That's how bad. That's the situation that we're in. I would take Bowen at the football club because none of our wingers score or even create chances anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I would take Lookman and I would take Bowen as well. Big up Mish says, can we be honest? Lineup was good. System was good enough. It was a good platform for the players to take advantage. But the players have no Viagra, says Mish. Yeah. Big up Sankel says Earl 6'4" guys, soft shit. Nunes and Rico shit. Get a right back. WJ says Sankel.
I kind of agree with that though.
Big up Sankel.
I don't want to go as far as calling Haaland lazy, but like for example, I watched the under-18s game yesterday. They put up a 7 spot on Blackburn. Striker scored 2 goals. They interviewed him after. He said, I don't feel like I worked as hard today as I usually did. I'm like, shit, that's good mentality. He scored 2 goals and he's saying I didn't run enough today. Like,
yeah, but he's played against 16-year-olds, so like he should be thinking that really. Like,
yeah, it was an end-to-end game. He's already saying it was a 7-3 game. He said I didn't work hard enough. I'm like, shit, good. That's good mentality. And then you have Haaland who just stands still for a lot of the game. It's sort of frustrating to watch. So yeah,
but it's an odd one with Haaland. So I get it. I get the frustration with Haaland completely, and it can be really annoying to watch. And I'm not saying that he's playing brilliantly by any means, but like if the plan is to play direct, which it obviously is because we did it for a lot of the game today, then Haaland kind of has to stand there and be the guy to hit it up to. Like that is what he has to do by like, obviously then you can complain about what he does when the ball's hit up to him and stuff. And that's all absolutely legitimate as well. Like that's fine. But I don't like, again, we had this against Spurs where like we were complaining about him running back and dropping deep, but then we don't want him standing up top either. Like what do we want? What do we want this guy to do?
The thing is, Joe, mate, is what do you want from your striker? So if you want activeness, then you might not want Haaland. I want him to just stand the fuck still. That's what I want. I want him to stay there. That's what I want.
Do.
So that's what he does, innit? So I'm happy with him.
I just want him to put his chances away, and that's a bit where I think is the most criticism, because I think ultimately, the problem is that he missed a couple of headers today that could have put the game out of sight. That's my problem. I don't care about if his hold up play was shit, if he just sort of walked around up top for 60% of the game. I don't really care. I'm bothered about what he does in the penalty area, and at the end of the day, he scored 1 goal, which was good, but he missed 2 or 3 chances to put that game out of sight, and that's where the criticism is for me.
Nah,
that one-on-one's the worst, man, because that should be his game. That
and you know what? He had a few of them.
We've been crying out for Haaland to be able to get in behind back fours, and because he's always facing low blocks and stuff like that. Yeah. He's got a chance there where he's in behind the back four, and that's his bread and butter, man. And he's fucking.
I want to see him put his foot through these shots, you know, Jay.
Like, what technique even is that, man? He's just fucking p-rolling it into the floor.
But the guy's got one of the hardest shots in world football.
Like, what's he trying to do? Yeah, just fucking whack it.
It might be a confidence issue, man. I'll be real. He had 2 or 3 in the Club World Cup where he was put through on goal and he didn't score a single one.
How many times in the treble season did he just dink those over the keeper nice and easy? And it was
the one for the record Premier League goal against West Ham, dinked it over.
Yeah.
Just a shitbag, mate. Just a bad shitbag.
No, well, let me go through some of these chats, boys, and then we'll carry on. We got Dean says, if I was a sporting director, Dumfries, Gueye, Gvardiol, Nori, Rodri, Reinders, Wirtz, Rodrigo, Haaland, Mamouche. Now, that's a statement, says Dean. That is a fucking statement, mate. Absolutely. And again, Gueye is available. Big up Cool Guy says, sorry, guys, don't even think if we had Livramento today, we would have won the game. It's not an individuals, but a collective team effort that wins games. Says Cool Guy. A lot of people pointing to the collectives today, man. Big up Jay says, I've seen people on socials blaming Rodri for the second goal. I swear our fan base is filled with people who think this game is played out at the face of FIFA. Proper idiots. We'll come on to the second goal in a minute. We'll speak about both situations, but I want to break it down a little bit, see what the lads are saying. Big up Jace. Big up George says, if Haaland doesn't score, then who? And where's Phil? Who knows where Phil is?
It would usually be Phil. To that question.
Phil. Well, Phil was our second goal scorer, but he wasn't even available. Don't know where he is. We need him back. Yeah. He needs to stay fit, otherwise it's not going to be good.
It did look like he hurt himself in that Spurs game, though, didn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, he's probably just got an ankle injury.
He got smashed.
Well, I've not heard anything about it.
I'm not buying this whole thing of we need to discuss Foden's injury. He is injured.
Yeah,
I don't get this. He's down tools. He's not trying hard enough.
I seen it with my own eyes, bro. I seen him get smashed to bits.
Yeah, facts. Big up George, man. Big up PDP says, get Cambiasso if Livramento isn't available. Bro, get anybody, bro. I'll be real. Big up DB94 says, we can't defend. Teams be queuing up to play us, says DB94. Yeah, I agree. SG says, there's an issue between Viana and Pep in regards to play development. We're planning for life after Pep, which may be very soon, says SG. We'll speak about Pep in a bit as well. But there is definitely a disconnect in my view. 100%, bro. Big up to Lewis, says the best right back for me is Munoz for up and down, can defend, not like most right backs in the world. I know it won't happen, but get me Valverde and go get Alvarez back. Well, Alvarez apparently is unhappy at Atletico, so maybe try and get him back. But yeah, Munoz is another option, 40 mil probably. Can do your job for 3 years, or just don't get anybody. Big up Nicholas says, we just have to find a way to stay within a respectable distance until the turn of the year. After that, I think we'll be smooth, says Nick. Yeah, well, you can't win the league in the first 5 months, but you can lose it.
You can lose it.
Yeah. Stay within touching dusters and hope and pray that we can turn this shit around, man. Now, big up Jimmy as well says, no more nice guys. I want criminals, villains, and thieves. You buy Bruno G in 2023 like you should have. There you go. And we're going for 6 in a row. Off ball so weak. Bro, this is the thing. People were telling us, but weren't they, Jimmy, in 2023? It's not FIFA. You can't spend 100 million on a player. Well, you now spent 150 million pound on 3 midfielders, and we still have no idea if Nico Gonzalez is any good. So
football's an easier game if you do treat it like FIFA. You know what I'm saying about that?
Bro, you buy the best players.
Unless you're United.
Buy the fucking best players.
You spend the same on 2-3 players who are never in your starting 11 anyway, so you might as well get the big boy in it.
You could have got Bruno G and he could be a legit starter for this football club. Instead, you spent 150 million quid and you've ended up with Nico Gonzalez, who probably isn't going to be good enough to start week in, week out for the football club. He's going to be a squad rotation anyway. Yeah, buy cheap, buy twice. That's what we've done. But we're not buying cheap. Yeah, we're spending a lot of money, and you're not buying twice. You're buying 3 times. Even fucking worse than the actual saying. Yeah. Big up Jimmy. Big up Aaron as well. Says a proper right back, and that first goal is prevented. Says Aaron. Big up Michael as well. Says, one of the problems we have is the players don't seem to fight for each other. Cohesion in the squad seems non-existent. Also, Nunes is shit. Well, how many people are talking about like the collectiveness of the team, man?
It's an
You know
issue,
what I mean?
man.
This is normally you come on, we do these shows. If City have lost, there's always people saying this guy's shit or this guy's shit, and there is a little bit of that in the chat. But so many people today have been like the whole package.
It is the last 2 games as well.
Just
Yeah,
and
it's been
that's a
fucking
real bad situation because if you say you talk about a player, right, and that player's shit, well, everyone just goes, we'll just drop the player then and swap him. But everyone's talking about the collective, which is not a good place. It's not good to be talking about that because that's probably even worse. LB stopped glazing the first half. We was mad shaky, mate. Bears, I thought we was actually decent in the first half, bro. I can't lie. Big up cool guy says, guys, we keep forgetting about Ortega. Borussia Mönchengladbach have been sold. Is where he's.
I'm not even thinking about Ortega right now.
But he's staying. Diaz got a new contract. We are United in 5 years, says Clark. Big up, man. A couple of these left boys. Big up Dylan says, salute you, lads. Who's the number 10 for the next 2 months with no Foden at the moment and no Cherky? Mamouche. And does Pep change styles to match Donnarumma's play? Well, we'll come on to the Donnarumma thing in a bit. I'd probably just stick with Reinders in there again. Although I've got to say, he's been poor. I don't think he had a good game again today, and I didn't think he played well at all against Tottenham.
He was terrible against Spurs. Yeah, he was terrible against Spurs.
So hopefully he can get back on it, man. You know what I mean? For the next couple of games, because we need him, bro. Facts. Big up BM says, how's Pool fixing their issues? Spend the money. Well, again, if you look at who they're signing, Isak, Wirtz, Gueye, proven ballers, or ballers that are about to become proven, make a big jump like Mark Gueye, Whereas we're signing like a lot of these like up and comers. That's where we've gone wrong, man. Yeah, and again, just go and have a look at our signings since the treble year. I was looking at it before, man. It's mad. It's wild. And we spent a shitload of money as well.
was fantastic today, by the way. I know he took a lot of Kirkes, but he was
very,
sick
very
today, bro. Sick
we're,
today.
We're just fucking kiddie fiddler FC, aren't we, man? Going try and find people in playgrounds.
We're trying to get all the youth, man. You've got to get some more of these Reinders style players. That's what you've got to be doing.
Yep.
Let me just finish off these chats, boys. A couple more left. Big up MD says people talk about the false 9 system with Marmouche. Check the stats. It was poor because we were so bad that false 9 looked good. Now people want to drop Haaland, says MD.
That's not even a false 9, though. That's just him striker, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't actually remember Marmouche being very convincing as a number 9 personally. Like I think I never thought it was great personally.
I just think the fluidity of the team looked a bit better. Like when Haaland was out last year, on my life, right, when he was injured for about 5-6 games, that was actually our best run in at the back end of last season, if you remember. We was cooking teams, man.
Yeah, it was.
On my life, it was the best.
Problem you've got with that though, Jay, is that's not a long-term solution.
No, I know.
So we can do it. We can do it for the next game against United if you want, and maybe you can do it for Napoli. But if you start leaving Haaland on the bench for 3, 4, 5 games,
but that's how we fucked ourselves by the situation that we've put ourselves with the contract situation. Like
I think you could, even if he didn't have a new contract, you are not benching Haaland for more than a game or two. Like it's just Haaland is that sort of superstar level guy where and you might not like this, but like he is that elite Mbappe sort of level of player where you just can't bench him.
He's got to start fucking playing like it for me. Or I think you can be benched. I genuinely think that nobody should be above being benched. If you're not performing well enough, you're not performing well enough, then you need to hold fucking bench, man. You're gonna have to do it. And I don't think it should happen against United, but there should be a time at some point in the near future where we just send a nice fluid front three, false 9, whatever. And just to see how it goes, man, because I thought it worked really well in that run of games last year, and we looked strong, man, doing that, having these players popping up in different areas and stuff like that. And we're just one-dimensional now, trying to cross the ball into Haaland constantly and feed him. And we need to mix it up. We do need to mix it up.
The problem is with this that even with all those problems that we all agree the team has, where we've got we've certainly got one winger in Jeremy Doku who's allergic to assisting Haaland, and he's still ending the season with 30+ goals like every year, no matter what. Like he is no matter what, he is an output machine. Like he will score 30 goals a season even if the team is shit. So I don't see any why as a manager you would risk not playing that guy if he's fit and available. I agree. You just wouldn't, would you? Like, cause he's especially when he's scoring like 70% of the team's goals.
This is why it is for me. Yeah, it's just like, and again, he missed some chances today. He should have scored, and he's missed a couple of chances. You know, he missed them last year. Blah blah blah, whatever. But fundamentally, I think you've got to build the team around Haaland, and everybody in the team, in an attacking sense, has to be able to create chances for Haaland. And if you can't, then you need to be getting me bare goals. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we have so many players in this team that don't get that mad connection with Haaland, and also don't get me output with goals. So what we're doing, like, listen, whether you like it or not, the club has decided that they're going to go down this road of having Haaland as their number 9 for the next 10 years. So get with this times, man. You've got to have wingers that can create for him. And if they're not creating, but you need to be getting me 25 goals a season. And the best wingers in the world do both. So, you know, but we've got wingers that don't do either.
Yeah.
That don't create chances for him and don't score. You know what I mean? So who's creating chances for him? And then Haaland's feeling the pressure then because he's watching his defence give goal after goal after goal, just like he did all last season. He's looking around going, you're not creating any chances for me. You're not creating any chances for me. You'll create me one or two chances a game, and I've got to score them both. And if I don't score them both, we ain't winning because that defence is crap and they'll concede 2 or 3 goals a game. And that's the pressure that he's under every single game. So yes, he needs to do better in front of goal. And yes, he needs to start bearing his chances. But the only reason we're having this conversation is because every single game we're conceding 2 or 3 goals. Tottenham conceded 2 goals. Brighton conceded 2 goals. If the defence stops conceding 2 or 3 goals a game, you'll stop getting onto Haaland. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Yes, he needs to finish his dinner. Yes, his finishing needs to improve. But the only reason we're having this conversation is because we're conceding 2 goals every single fucking match we're playing, just like we were doing last year. And I thought we'd left that in the past, but clearly we've not. So that's where we're at, man. Let me just finish these chats, man. 3 left, and then I want to ask you guys some questions about some situations in the game and some individuals as well. Shout out Angel says, we are in for another fight to get Champions League type season, boys. Let's be real. This club will give me a permanent ED. LB, get a Blue Chew sponsorship, please.
ED is in what?
Erectile dysfunction.
Man. I was going to say big up then, but maybe it's inappropriate. big up Angel, bro.
Big up, man.
Big up Callum, bro. Says, Jay would rather have a League 2 striker because he does more than Haaland, but will score 20 less goals than Haaland.
That's one of the most ridiculous things. When the fuck did I say I'd have a League 2 striker, mate?
The fishing rod?
Like, come off it, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
You do want to replace. You do want to replace him. You do want to swap him out for a guy who hasn't scored a league goal yet this season, though. To be fair,
who's this?
Marmoush.
I didn't say swapping with Marmoush. That was Martin. That I said I wouldn't. Swap.
I thought you agreed.
Oh,
I
what
would
you
drop Haaland for United. I said I wouldn't drop Haaland.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Oh no.
Oh,
you're just calling it out that he needs to improve.
I'm calling out that he's been shit. Yeah, I think he's been shit. Genuinely. And you can't keep spamming fucking goals against bottom 5 teams in the league and then expecting everyone to forget.
Disingenuous, bro.
I don't care, man. Honestly, like he's been poor since that contract got signed, and it's because I hold him to a high standard, man. I've seen what he can do, and this is why I'm so hard on him because I have seen that he can be fucking world class. So I hold him to that high standard. So when he's playing like a fucking donkey, then it hurts me more and it makes me rage, man. It makes me fucking fuming. It makes my veins pop out my head. So top shit out, Haaland.
Top goal scorer in the league, by the way. 3-3. Top goal scorer.
I know.
But, he's a shitbag.
I know. But I told you, goal fucking mass stinker. I'm telling you.
All right, maybe this last super chat and I'll come to the rest in a bit because I need to ask these guys some questions, man. Big up Benno says, Marmoush, Bob Reinders all need to release the ball early. Hold on to it for too long, constantly run into a wall or get that pocket pick. I agree. They do need to release it a lot earlier than they do, especially in Marmoush. I thought Marmoush was really good first half today, but there's a number of times that he
shut up, Elijah.
Right, I'll come to some of these super chats in a bit, man. I need to ask these guys some questions.
What
Right,
do you mean support a different team, you fucking idiot? Sorry, LB.
Yeah, it's all right. You get the chat rattles you sometimes.
Yeah,
they were rattling me before. Right, let me ask you some questions about some situations. Let's go with the 2 goals, and then we can come to some individual performances. Right, first of all, first goal for Brighton. Yeah, are we actually having this conversation that this is Uzbekistan's fault? Yeah, this guy Huzanov. People are trying to tell me it's his fault because he gave the foul away. I think that is the most stupid thing I've ever heard personally.
How? What?
Because they're saying if he didn't give the foul away, the penalty wouldn't have happened. And I'm like, bro, that's
what Martin tried saying before. It kind of fucking riled me up, to be fair, but I kept my mouth shut.
Does anybody agree with that or no? Because I think that's
no. He's the only guy who fucking puts himself about and tries to win a tackle and shows any fucking fight.
That's poor.
So that should be applauded.
I actually smiled. I actually smiled when he smashed that guy.
It's night and day. It's night and day. You have Hussanov going sliding into tackles, and you have Nunes protecting his pretty little face. You're a footballer. You are a defender. You should be putting your body on the line. You're going, oh, my face, mate.
This is the problem with the Nunes error. Is that I thought on the first replay that he was just protecting his face, but his arm was already up here, and he's bringing it down. So what? But the thing is that the start, why he puts his arm up there to begin with for it to then have to come down. That's the bit that I don't understand. Like that's like where it just makes no sense as an error that he's made. It's just so beyond anything that I can imagine a professional footballer doing in that situation in the penalty area, when we all know exactly what VAR's like, and all you have to do is have your hand in a slightly unnatural position. You've given away a penalty if the ball hits it. Why you would even risk that is beyond me. But
guy's doing the YMCA in his own fucking penalty. Are you fucking mad? What you doing?
It makes no sense. Like, I don't know what it is that could have possibly made him think to do that. Like, it's not like nothing happened that you would sort of instinctively put your hand up for. There's absolutely nothing. And yeah, it's how anybody can look at that situation and even think about putting the blame on any other person on the pitch apart from Mateus Nunes is insane.
I agree. Okay, so that happens. Then the second goal, obviously, to be honest, they deserved it. To be honest, it was absolutely cooking us. What are you guys making of the second goal, man? A lot's going on. I don't know what's going on with like our defensive line. It's all over the gaff.
It's just a cousin of less back defense, man. That's the difference.
For me, I think John Stones has got to do a lot better here, guys. You know, he's coming across because Nunes is not. Rico Lewis, I think. Rico Lewis is obviously pushed up a little bit. The ball comes across. John Stones has to come wide, which then stretches our defense. He's got to know, I can't afford for this ball not to go to a City player, because if it goes to a Brighton player, we are defensively cooked because of where I am. He knows where he is. He's on the wing. He knows that Rico's in front of him. So he knows, that he's got Diaz behind him, and then Aït-Nouri is somewhere over there. So two players, right? And he obviously should be knowing the danger there. It was a 4-on-3. For me there, John Stones has got two options, right? The risky option and then the not risky option. The risky option is not even to play the ball where he played the ball. It was to play it inside, hook his foot around it. And I think I can't remember who it was, might be Rodri, was inside to his left. Or put your fucking foot through it and clear it.
Just
what he actually does is just play the ball towards Rico, where the Brighton player is. He does the third option, which was never, ever on the table. He should have either played it inside to Rodri by getting his foot round it, but that's a little bit risky because if he gets that wrong, we're fucked. Or just go, we're defensively screwed here, I'm getting my foot through it. So then you can talk about Diaz and positioning, he's jogging back or whatever. Yeah. But for me, I'm always looking at how did we get into that situation in the first place? And you guys know I glaze John Stones, but I think he's got to do a lot better there. I think he's made
That's one of our established like 10-year, soon to be 10-year players who's making that error. Like that is not okay. That is just bad.
I think the Stones thing is half the story. The other half of the story is, all right, where did this come from? Look how open we were. If you look at it in a freeze frame, you think, okay, it's a counterattack. That was not a counterattack. That was a Brighton goal kick. We're playing a high line on a Brighton goal kick. Now think about it. All their players are still going to be in their half. Why are we playing a high line on that? And it wasn't even a good high line. Everyone was every which way. Then Stones does a pretty much.
I can bring up the still. I can't play the clip, otherwise we'll get copyrighted, right? But this is the ball. So this is what I'm saying, right? Look at where John Stones is here on the left-hand side, He's got Rodri
there,
in the middle. That's the risky pass, to play it inside. Now, I think John Stones has the technique to play that pass to Rodri on the volley,
Mm-hmm.
But what he definitely can't do is play the ball to Rico here. Because look at the Brighton play. He knows that if he doesn't get this right, we're fucked. And that's why, for me, I think it's a John Stones error, fundamentally. He's played the ball to the wrong position. Yeah. So I think, number one, John Stones is to blame for it. And I glaze John Stones, so I'm not even trying to do anything. I'm just telling you my honest opinion. You can't tell me that giving the ball to Rico Lewis here is a good decision. It's a terrible decision.
Just drop the ball anywhere in that whole Rodri area there, because look, Reinders is ball side of his man. Like, he could have literally just dropped the ball into that area, even if it didn't go directly to Rodri, because there was players there, all ball side of the man, that could have picked it up. And the only one that wasn't in that position was Rico, who had a man directly on his back. So it was a shocking decision, man.
No, and I agree with the whole thing of like Diaz is poorly positioned, but at the same time, he's positioned thinking that Stones will make a routine play. As soon as Stones makes a fundamental error, that leaves Diaz 1v3. Like, after that, you can take another freeze frame. There's 3 Brighton players around Diaz, and people have the cheek to blame him for that.
I don't think Diaz has done
there. You can be Mickey Van Den, or you can be Per Mertesacker. You're not catching up there.
It's the jogging back for me.
The jogging back's mad. Sure. First of all, Diaz has got 2 players here because they've got an overload, right? Which obviously Brighton are really going for it. Yeah, I'll just push it forward a little bit here.
They all need to come across one, though, don't they, bro? Like, Diaz needs to move over one, and then whoever's on the left-hand side.
Diaz is... I mean, look at...
They need
Diaz
to
is
come over.
fucked here. Look at this. Diaz is completely fucked here. I mean, what's he meant to do?
Well, the ball goes past them. The ball goes past them, done it, and straight to the guy who's in the middle there. So then it gets to the point where Diaz is like out of the equation by the time that pass is completed. But it's the
recovery. The guy holds the ball up.
Yeah.
He probably, in hindsight, he probably shouldn't go as tight to this guy on the ball here, because he's dead in the water then if he knocks it off to the guy there. If he knows he's the last man and he's surrounded by 3 players, he should be dropping 10 yards and trying to split himself.
Look at that! Look at what Declan Rice did when he must have seen that viral clip.
But because he's gone tight, he's dead in the water now.
He's giving the Brighton player the easiest decision to make there by just going touch tight.
If he splits himself between the two strikers, then he can make the move. Then after a little bit of time,
so what you're saying is right? Because wait a second. Yeah, this is really annoying because I'd love to play the clip, but
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like a wrong decision, but it's a decision where if you don't get it right and make the tackle, then you're fucked, and that's what he's done basically.
Well, no, because wait a sec, right? Because obviously John Stones has played the header here. So at what point is he meant to start dropping?
No, so we mean when like the ball comes
when
in,
the
like,
ball comes to
to
the forward, he goes right up his ass, like tight to him, knowing that if he knocks the ball off, then he's dead in the water behind.
So you want as this guy heads the ball, you want Ruben Diaz to start running back.
You what?
You want Ruben Diaz to start running back.
He's got to try and split himself between those 2 strikers as soon as the ball goes up.
Well, there's not even 2 strikers. There's 3. Because there's Matoma here on the left-hand side. That's who gets the ball.
Yeah, but John Stones should be dealing with the guy who he's right next to in an ideal world, really.
Yeah, but John Stones has fucked himself because he's gone for the challenge. So he's now over here with the momentum carrying him, which is how Matoma, watch, if I play the clip again. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not necessarily sure what the right thing Diaz could do there is. It's just that,
and this is only in hindsight. He's got to make a split-second decision.
I don't think Diaz has done anything wrong other than the fact he's not sprinting back.
You know what he could have done though, bro? He actually could have stepped out and played him offside for a second. Because he's like a last man there. He could have stepped out.
I just think that is something that he can't do, because to do that, he's got to assume that that John Stones is going to make the error in the first place.
And also, if he does try to play him,
bro.
If he tries to play him offside and gets that wrong, then that's even worse. Like Brighton have got like 3, like they could just pass it amongst themselves and give themselves a definite.
I think it's easy done, man.
But I think he just buys himself a little bit of time if he just drops 5 yards.
I just think it's a Stones error.
Come back. But then again, you could nitpick loads of freeze frames from the thing. It's just that obviously we're talking about.
I also didn't actually like the goalkeeping, to be honest. I think he had a fantastic game, Trafford, but I think he sold himself a lot as well. You know what I'm saying? The guy got like rounded.
I think the problem is that him and Aït-Nouri collide. That's the biggest problem. I think if he does, I think if Trafford does what he does, but Aït-Nouri isn't just locked on the ball and trips over him, then that maybe buys time for 1 or 2 of the defenders to get in the way and make a goal line clearance. But because Aït-Nouri's just tripped right over him, then that just like.
Diaz probably blocks the shot as well, you know, if he does sprint back.
If he doesn't sprint,
he was very, very close.
If he sprints back and makes a slide, he can easily get in the way of that. Yeah. But it's, you know, again, hindsight in it, like he's got to make these decisions in split seconds.
Stones is the main man in that.
Yeah,
we're just nitpicking the rest of the play.
What did you guys make of? I know we spoke about it a little bit, but Huzanov, obviously he got the nod today. I thought personally he was fucking.
I think he's our best player. Yeah,
excellent, absolutely
phenomenal. And I think you know the thing is with Huzanov, is I think people don't realise how important it is because some of the stuff he does, you don't realise that it's massive. Do you remember the one in the first half? Reinders gets himself into a bad situation. He runs into the midfield, loses the ball, and the ball's played to Minter on the right-hand side, and Huzanov comes across and slide tackles it out.
That was
like the
very
first
early as well.
Bro, if that's, and I'm not trying to blame Diaz here or like cook Diaz, but if that's Diaz or an Ake or someone slower, they're not getting there, and that Minter guy is through on goal.
Backs him into the box, yeah.
Yeah, there was another one like a bit later on where the guy like ball played in behind and he gets back and stops the thing. Like for me, I've seen enough. Huzanov has to be in the starting.
He's good on the ball as well, man. Underrated on the ball. Do you know what I like?
He is.
What he does when he's in trouble, like and obviously I'm not coming back to Diaz again here, but Diaz gets himself in a lot of trouble because he's not got the ability to carry the ball out. Whereas Kuzanov sometimes finds himself under a little bit of pressure, and because he's got extra space, he drives into space. He drives into space and he carries the ball past the front line of the press. And
you can find Haaland as well, bro. He can chip it to his feet. You know what I'm saying? He can always. He's always got an outlet there.
I think
he's very underrated on the ball.
I think Pepper's kind of the comments he made about Kuznov after the game suggest to me that he's going to start more games after this, because I think he said like he gives us he's the only one who has that thing against pacey teams. And I'm not being funny. How many teams in the Premier League are there that don't have a pacey forward? Like this guy is key to us not conceding so many like you say that Brighton chance where he holds him off and like eventually wins the foul for the sort of 50-50. Like that's not even a 50-50 if it's not Kuznov on the pitch. Like that is just game over. Like that's a goal 100%. Already.
And so I hope his injury's not bad either because
Pep said he's fine. Yeah. So I think I think it just sort of brought him off because he's had recent muscle injuries on it, so they just wanted to not risk it and just bring him off. But I think Pep's comments afterwards on him and sort of how vital he is to being against pacey teams suggest to me that he's going to start like all but maybe like 10 Premier League games this season. If 30, I think he should start 30 plus Premier League games this season personally, because we're the one thing that we saw all the time last season, and certainly what we saw against Spurs, is that against pace we are fucked, and we need someone who can actually deal with it. And Kuznov is literally the only guy in the back four who we've got who can deal with it.
Yeah, I didn't see a lack of leadership in the body. I didn't look at my defence today and go, "Oh, you are all at 6s and 7s." Like the penalty had nothing to do with leadership. That's just a bozo. And the second goal was just John Stones, our most senior player, who just needs to fucking deal with it. So this is why I said I always felt this whole thing about leadership. I always felt it was not a myth. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a myth, bro, but mad overrated. Yeah,
what
mad
do you do
overrated.
Then? What would you do then? The back four was
the least organised after Kuznov had gone off the pitch. That's when we conceded that second goal when he went on the pitch. So
what would you do in the situation where, because John Stones' injury's coming and we're not going to see him for like 3 or 4 months once that injury comes, like. When that happens and Gvardiol's come back fit, are we just playing Kuznov and Gvardiol as the defenders, or are you putting Gvardiol left back and playing
as Stones? Yeah. We still got Stones there, or is he injured?
No. This is when the inevitable Stones injury comes.
Yeah, this all depends then. One, how we're performing at the time. If we're performing well, I'd go Gvardiol, Huzanov, Nori, and Nunes. If we're not, I have to play Ake left back, bro. Yeah, and solidify it.
But the point is, your centre back partnership is Kuznov and Gvardiol, no matter what, basically.
If Stones is injured,
yeah.
If Stones is fit, it's Gvardiol, Stones, Nori, Nunes. And by the way, Nori's only getting dropped in this scenario because I have to play Gvardiol. I'm not playing Gvardiol right back, so that's the only way I'm going to do it. And you could potentially play Huzanov right back, but I think you need him in the middle. You need him in the middle so he's covering those like.
So the guy we've just given a new 4-year contract to, we agree is our 4th choice centre back. If
people who haven't been glazing have accepted that Diaz has been poor for 2 years.
Yeah.
And people say it's an agenda, but it's not. It's facts.
People are only just starting to wake up to it this year, man. But it's been facts for fucking.
It's been facts.
I've been saying it since the first fucking panel show I was on.
And the thing is as well, it's not even a Diaz thing at the moment. The fact is, I need a ball playing centre back in my back two, and I need pace. Well, pace has to be Huzanov, so Huzanov has to play because I need the pace.
And Gvardiol's got that as well, to be fair. His recovery pace
so
is really
if
good.
I'm playing Huzanov as my pace, then the next guy needs to be a ball player. So that's got to be...
And Diaz is the worst centre-back on the ball, and he's the slowest.
I'm not even not playing Diaz because
fact,
of anything like how he's been playing. I'm not playing Diaz because I need pace and he doesn't have it and Huzanov does. And I need a ball player. So it has to be Stones or Gavardio. It's just a process of elimination, man. That's it. Process of elimination. Who just dropped off? Someone dropped off?
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve.
I think he said he's going gym.
Yeah, I seen his message. He's going gym. Yeah. Now, so Huzanov played well. We've touched on Ike Nori a little bit. I thought it was dreadful. Absolutely awful. I thought it was the worst.
What about Trafford? Do you think that obviously, like, I don't know how much you put on him for that second goal, but I thought he was mint today.
I thought he was very good. Yeah. Very
I thought
good.
it was really, really good.
That thing in the first half was the best one for them to go 1-0 up, I think. Was it the Matoma?
The one where it's low to his right.
Because if we go 1-0 down that early, like, it's trouble.
I think the save where it's like is it a header in the second half where he just like his arm just flaps up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
to get it.
claws it out.
And then we conceded like 2 minutes later. And all
yeah.
No, I thought it was good. I thought the only mistake he made was just before the first half. He played a pass to Stones, and he should have got rid of it. It was funny because on the watch along, I was literally saying minutes before he did it. Yeah, I said, "Oh, Trafford's decision making today's been much better. He's not passing the ball short when he shouldn't be." And then he passed the ball to Stones. Stones got into shit, and Stones turned to him, and went, "Fucking get rid of it like that." You could tell what he was saying. But other than that, I thought he was really, really good. His passing, he looked really calm on the ball. He made some tremendous saves. Listen, obviously he made an error against Spurs, but the way the guy speaks and the way he handles himself, you can tell that won't really impact him and that. So yeah, it was good, man. He'll still be dropped.
He's gonna look great for Chelsea next year, isn't he? Like it's gonna be.
He probably will be at Chelsea, but he'll still be dropped because Donnarumma's going to come in and be our number one now. I mean, I did bring it up on screen before chat, but some of you might not have been here. All the media is basically saying it's done deal now. Ederson's going to Fenerbahce. I think they're saying 14 million euros. They're saying it's all done. His flight's booked and everything tomorrow. So he's going.
He's going to Fenerbahce. Like when it was Galatasaray, I can understand like still Champions League and stuff like that. But Fenerbahce, man, he must just really want to just not be at City full stop at this point. It's crazy.
Here's the news from Fabrice Hawkins as well. He's a good source when it comes out of France. He's saying talks are now underway between PSG and Man City for Donnarumma. Plan is to reach an agreement as soon as the Ederson leaves Manchester City. I think this deal's already agreed. I'm going to be real with you. As soon as the City one gets signed, this one will be signed as well. I think both deals are pretty much done now. So yeah, Donnarumma is coming in. We will touch on that in a bit. I just want to carry on some more of these performances, and then we'll maybe touch on that before we wrap up the show. Okay, anything else you guys want to speak about defensively wise? Let's touch on Trafford. 8-0, yeah, not great.
Nunes, Bozo, we're done.
I feel like we've done Nunes, yeah.
I think Trafford today just made the whole Donnarumma thing even more confusing to me than it already was. Because the whole argument is
it's not a shot stopping issue, is it?
Yeah, exactly. He's a world-class shot stopper. He's going to save us in the big games. Today we saw a goalkeeper stand on his head, and we lost the game regardless. There is no perk to having him. I'm going to back him when he comes in, like Martin said, that the badge is better than the name on the shirt. But it's like it just doesn't make sense. It makes even less sense today than it did a couple weeks ago.
I agree. And we're actually sacrificing. And Trafford's actually better on the ball than Donnarumma. So.
Everyone's saying, right, he's going to make 15 saves at Anfield. Are Liverpool not going to score because of that? They could still score 2-3 goals. They've got the players for that.
Yeah.
I don't care if he makes 15 saves if 3 still go in.
Yeah.
I'll be real, Go on, Joe.
I was going to say, Stefan Borson tweeted before, can't believe that the right City next move is to try and integrate a new goalkeeper with a whole new style. This whole approach is baffling. And it's just like, I've given the way we've started these first few games, to then throw that extra variable into the whole thing with Donnarumma it's crazy to me. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, everything that's come out, though, Joe, suggests that Pep really wants Donnarumma.
Yeah, and that's...
Apparently, Pep says Donnarumma's the top 3 goalkeeper in world football. Now, I think it's weird. I would never have put Donnarumma and Pep Guardiola together, but Pep apparently wants Donnarumma. Pep reckons Donnarumma can work. So if Pep thinks it can work, then you put it together. And if it doesn't work, that's then on Pep if it doesn't work, innit? You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I see it. So listen, I would still sign the guy. I would still sign Donnarumma. But it's still weird.
We're in an identity crisis, man. I think. I don't know what direction we're trying to go in.
my issue is that, and I think someone kind of mentioned this with Viana before, and like the idea that he's making signings for life after Pep, and Pep is still thinking, well, I've got to worry about the next 12 months basically. Because I think end of the season, Pep's gone. Pep's doing I think this season, unless there's a major change in the next 3-4 months, which there very well could be, and that's and I'm not saying that this is definitely the way the whole season's going to go based on the first 3 games, but it ain't looking great for being like some massive lift from last season. I think Pep just then goes, right, maybe this is just the end of not the era, but it's like things are sort of dwindling down. Someone else needs to come and give these players a bit of new like impetus and a bit of oomph, and it ain't me. And that's and fine, he'll be the greatest manager probably the Premier League's ever seen, or the world's ever seen, blah blah, everything like that. But we're going to be lumbered with fucking Donnarumma for the next 5 years on a deal we've probably given him that we only got in just because Pep wants him. Meanwhile, we'll have fucked off Trafford, who's probably going to be the next England goalkeeper and one of the top goalkeepers in the world for the next 10 years if he develops the way that we all think he will. And it's very like, and this is why I'm kind of more on the Viana side of things when it comes to the transfers rather than the Pep side, because the end of Pep is feeling very imminent, like, and making these kind of 4 or 5 year signings, as good as Donnarumma is, and Donnarumma's a great goalkeeper, so it's not like it's, it's very sort of like complaining about the fucking Lamborghini you've got being too new or something like that. But I don't know. I think it's just a case of, maybe there should be one where Pep's just told, well, yeah, right, okay, maybe you do rate Donnarumma, but we've got James Trafford here. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, make that work. But
we'll see if it works out, man. But listen, you're the sporting director. Would you sign Donnarumma? Yes or no?
Me personally, I signed. I signed James
you
Trafford.
would sign Donnarumma. That's mad. So I'm the only one who would sign Donnarumma. I would sign him.
I just don't get what additional thing he has over Trafford aside from experience. And experience is not keeping the ball at your fucking net. Let me tell you that. Shot stopping is. Today I saw that Trafford is fine shot stopping wise. Trafford has the ability to bail us out of games, and that's what everyone wants out of Donnarumma. Why can't Trafford do it, mate? Could have been 4-1 if not for Trafford today. Why's the? I don't know.
I can't do that. I'm the only one. Let me do the.
Donnarumma could come in and genuinely be like a levels above, like peak David De Gea level of shot stopping, and we'll all be like, all right, cool. But he could also come in and be a fucking. If he doesn't hit the ground running, it's going to look really bad. It's going to be it's going to be really bad. Okay, I think
listen, I put a poll in the chat, lads. There's 1.4k in the building. You're the sporting director of Manchester City. Are you signing Donnarumma? I'm the only one on the panel that's saying yes. The lads are saying no.
LB though, just to kind of counter that with another question. How much percentage chance? And obviously this is kind of silly because I'm not saying we all agree we probably won't win the league based on these first few games. How much of an extra percentage chance of us winning the league do you think Donnarumma gives us versus Trafford?
That's a good question.
Maximum 10%.
Is that worth fucking off the next 10 years of Trafford for that?
Well, you say that, but Donnarumma's only 26.
I think 10% is generous as well, man.
I agree.
I think
that's what I say.
I
say maximum. Okay, but ask me the question about Champions League though.
Yeah,
Champions League, it goes up a lot.
Yeah, he's the Champions League merchant in it. That's the only time anyone's seen.
With this back line, you want to see this back line against Barcelona, Real Madrid? Donnarumma's not saving us there. Again,
but he'd be better than Trafford in those games.
What evidence do you have to say that though?
Last season Champions League.
What about the seasons before? He went to the Bernabeu, passed the ball straight to Benzema.
Yeah, I just see that. Some guy sent me a Donnarumma fail comp.
Yeah, Donnarumma. Like, this is kind of my thing. Like a lot of people are just assuming that last season's Donnarumma has been Donnarumma his whole career. Like he's actually been like very fucking suspect as a goalkeeper from the times that I've seen him. And look, that maybe he's just hit the perfect age where all that's gone now. And this last 6 months he's had for PSG is reflective of his ability going forward. But I don't know. I'm not convinced he's as much as like a dead cert kind of signing.
Donnarumma off and send the extra money to Newcastle for Livramento, man.
100%.
There's much more glaring and obvious like holes that we need to sort out before we sort out the goalkeeper. So just send them whatever fucking money they want. Save the rest on this keep situation, and then
this whole treble winner thing I'm seeing in the chat is just crazy to me. Is he going to grab the Champions League trophy and box the ball out with it? It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't. I know he's been in bigger games. But
Can I also say as well, a treble in France with PSG, like two of those should be guaranteed from the beginning of the season.
It's just a Champions League at the end of the day.
Two of those should be locked in from day one.
I'd still sign him, man, but I still think it is a little bit weird. I can't lie. The poll's still there. I'll come to it in a second, boys. Yeah, there's only 400 votes on it, but there's 1.4k in the building. So make sure you're voting on the poll. Let me go to some of these super chats, man. Big up to Homelander says, why is no one questioning Pep? Where do you guys stand on Pep in terms of, like, I guess, do any of you want him sacked?
We have questioned him, haven't we? But no, would no one's ever. If anyone knows football, like, you can't ever be Pep out. Like, he's gonna. I think he'll walk before he's ever sacked. Anyway,
can I put it out there that I don't want him sacked. I'm not saying sack him, but if we haven't sorted something out by November, December, I'm gonna be very all right with him just saying, right, this is my last season. I'm done. Like, I don't want him. I'm not going to be. I'm never ever going to actively say off your pop, Pep.
Yeah.
But
no, exactly.
But I think if this season goes the same way as last season, then I'm going to be very unbothered if he announces his departure. Basically, obviously I'll still be devastated. But you know what I mean. I won't be worrying for the future of the team like I would have been 2 or 3 years ago.
The worst you'll get out of me is just let him see out his contract. That's the worst you'll get. I will never want him out.
No, you can't sack him. No chance.
Again, I can even flip the question. Why should I want him sacked? Why? Because of 1 year.
Who's better?
But then I'm saying, what if that turns into 2 years? Like, what if this season is just a repeat of last year? Then you've got yourself a real question.
Yeah, no, of course. But I think if we have another year like last year, I think he'll go at the end of the season. I think the club will say to him, "Listen, it might be time." He'll probably walk anyway. Yeah, that's the situation. Pep ain't going to leave halfway through the season, and the club ain't going to sack him.
No.
If we have another season like last year, he'll leave at the end of the season. He's not going to stay for a third year in a row if we're shit this year. It's not going to happen, right? But for me, that doesn't mean that he's not been making. I think today, second half, I don't know what he said to the lads at half time, but we come out in that second half and we were dog shit. Yeah, he needs to be quicker on.
Same as Spurs as well.
Making subs, like, he's got to recognise that the team is vulnerable. He's saying stuff like that in the press conferences, but then he's not doing anything with his substitutions to help it. So what I would have been doing, as soon as I saw that second half going south, which I saw real quick on the watch along today, I'd have been saying, right, this fucking team needs support. What can I do to give them support? Right, well, midfield, we're getting cooked. Nico Gonzalez, get over here, £50 million midfielder. Yeah, Bernardo off. Yeah, he's small. You're not winning challenges. You're not helping me out. Rodri, Nico G, double pivot. Yeah, what else can I do? Making tacticals. And I just didn't see anything. Everything was very reactionary. And then he's bringing on Rico Lewis and Nico O'Reilly, who neither of which did anything. So, Pep needs to help the team out as well, man. But you ain't going to be Pep will be here until the end of the season, and then I think that he will leave at the end of the year. I'm getting more and more convinced of that. Bill Dillon says, tell me what Rodri said today was him saying, I know the lads rely on me, but I can't win games by myself, which should open their fucking eyes, man. Yeah, I think Rodri's fuming, bro. I've been
mate, the fact that he's lost that famous unbeaten run with him starting, he'll be fuming about that. That'll be the kind of thing that he'll be like quite proud of as like a thing where it's like, oh yeah, like we don't lose when I'm in the team. But that being fucking chucked out the window first start back from his injury, I think he'll be he'll be raging.
All right, what about Reinders? He's now played 3 games, boys. Where are you guys at with Reinders? Do you like what you see?
1 worldly performance and then 2 stinkers, in my opinion.
I agree.
I was talking about after the Wolves game, like he's going to be probably the best signing of the summer, like across all Premier League clubs, and then the drop-off has been insane, especially the Spurs game. I don't think he was as bad today. I think he holds on to the ball too long for me sometimes. I think that must come with obviously playing in the Premier League a little bit more. He's obviously a great carrier of the ball. He reminds me a bit of Kovacic, though, where he sometimes holds on to it for too long, I think. And then by the time he's decided to pass, it's either already gone or someone nicks the ball away from him. So I think he just needs to just get up with the speed a little bit more. It's not Syria, man. You don't have fucking acres of space and loads of time on the ball every time you've got it. You just got to pip it off and pop it off a little bit faster for me. And because he loses possession a little bit too much at the moment, in my opinion. But he's definitely got the quality to be fucking insane, man. We've seen it, haven't we? So hopefully it will come with time.
If he sorts that out, then yeah, he's gonna be unreal. And I think he's got all the technical ability. He knows what to do, and he's got that sort of box crashing ability to score goals and get assists and stuff like that. I mean, we saw against Wolves like what he's capable of. But I'm kind of looking at it in the same way that I'm looking at Oscar Bob at the moment, where it's like, yeah, right, okay, you looked mint against Wolves, but you've looked fucking shit against the other two teams that we've played against. So like, I need to really see that improve a little bit. I don't think he was helped by the midfield that was picked in general against Spurs, to be fair. I think I still think if we'd have just played that Wolves midfield in the Spurs game as well, then we might have had a completely different game and it might have looked totally different. But
I agree.
Yeah.
No excuse really today though. I get with Rodri,
no today.
Bernardo is there,
exactly. Yeah. Today there is just no excuse for it, and I think he just looked like he I can't say I really noticed him for most of the game, to be honest, which is a real problem when one of your three midfielders is looking completely unnoticeable throughout the entire game. Yeah, it's just a shame because obviously you look at that first game, and especially coming off his appearances in the Club World Cup and that pre-season game against Palermo, you think, oh fucking hell, we got a worldie here, and then Wolves, you think, oh wow, Premier League debut. We've not seen a debut as good as this for fucking ages. And then the two games after that are just so like deflating by comparison. But like the rest of them, he's just gonna take time in it before we start seeing like consistent good performances out of him.
Mm-hmm. Nah, facts. What are you, Danny?
Different speed and physicality the Premier League in it, and it's
yeah.
I
think it's a
slight debate between Italy and here.
Especially coming from Italy, yeah.
Yeah, no, facts, man. But I think he'll be a top player for us, man. I just think he needs to speed everything up, release the ball a little bit quicker. You know, Marmoush the same. You know, he's a couple of times today. I thought Marmoush played really well in that first 45 minutes.
He
but
does.
There were a couple of times
holds on to it too long, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When he's doing that 3 or 4 times in the first half, and then Reinders is doing it 3 or 4 times in the first half, it just makes everything monkey, doesn't it? You know what I mean? This is why, again, like some of these players, like, you know, Mamouche has only been here 6 months or whatever. As soon as they get a little bit more into it and they realise that they can't hold on, the team performance will go up, man. But the problem is, like, we need to be winning games now. Like, we don't have fucking 3-4 months to wait. Like, we could be out the title race in 3-4 months. We probably will if we can't carry on playing like this, man. All right, forward line. Spoke about Marmouche. Bob, thoughts on Bob? Danny, I'll start off with you. What are you saying?
Not his best. Like I said earlier, there was that one instance where he created space very well, and he needs to have more confidence in himself. He needs to be shooting more. I need not necessarily more output. I need more attempted output. Sometimes I think he overcomplicates things. You know, I've compared him to David Silva in the past. It seems like he's picked up the whole David Silva gene of just never wanting to shoot, always looking for the pass instead of shooting. But yeah, I don't know.
And the last thing we need is another winger who don't fucking shoot or can't shoot. Do you know what I mean? He's got to bring that side of his game. He was disappointing today. It's easily his worst game of the season because I thought he was actually probably the only bright spark against Spurs, and then definitely one of the best players against Wolves as well. So frustrating day for him. I just think his decision making in the final third weren't the best. Some mishit crosses. And yeah, he lost the possession a lot more than he usually does today. He's usually top class at keeping possession. So
what I will say is he looked a lot. He played centrally for a few minutes at a time. I thought he looked better when he was in the middle. He's not a touchline winger. He needs to find central areas more, and that's where he's best. Again, played there for the academy, played false 9, played in the middle, and that's where he's best. So if we can keep getting him into those areas, I think he'll be a lot more effective.
He can play the ball behind. He played one for Marmouche. Marmouche had a shot. It got blocked, didn't he? Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, the thing is with Bob, like he had a couple of decent moments, but like he shouldn't be a starting winger at Manchester City. He should be a player that's getting rotated in for the odd game, coming off the bench, you know, try to find his way. But because all our wingers are injured or just not good, he's just starting every game. He's only played 1,300 minutes. He's playing for Manchester City, man.
Yeah. I just don't think he was that good against Spurs either. I think Wolves is the anomaly.
No, don't get me wrong. He weren't good. I think he was just the best of a bad bunch against Spurs.
I think, he's a player who like a lot of pressure's on his shoulders because obviously everyone spent the whole year that he was out with a leg injury saying when this guy comes back, it's going to be different, and it's not different. Like it's just exactly. Obviously that Wolves game was mint, but everyone looked mint against Wolves, so I'm kind of just almost ignoring that as like a baseline. You know how good our players' kind of performance, but Spurs. I thought he was crap. He was anonymous as soon as we went 2-0 down, and today he was crap as well. I just don't see. Yeah, and that's fine. Like he's played he started a handful of games for Manchester City, like full stop, and he's 21, 22 years old. Like I cannot expect this guy to be good. And it comes back to Project FC again, doesn't it? Where it's just like we've got a bunch of players who are like in their very, very early stages of their career that we're expecting to just walk in and just be the numbers guys for us. And it's insane. And it's insane that is the profile of our wingers. But yeah, I've not seen anything in these last 2 games that's made me think that Bob should start the next game if anybody else
How
is
bad
fit.
is it, Joe? Yeah, that our 3 wingers, Doku, Savio, and Bob. Like that is just shambolic.
They're all projects. As good as Bob is, he's also a project.
Yeah, of course it is, absolutely. And I do glaze Bob. Yeah, doesn't mean I think he should be starting every single game for Manchester City. The only reason I say start him is because he's the best we've got. Yeah, whether you agree with that or not, whatever. Like Bob and Doku and Savio. That as a 3 option. I mean, just compare what some other clubs around Europe have got. Yeah. Fucking Real Madrid. Yeah. They've got Mbappe who can play on the wing. I know he plays up top, but they've got Mbappe. They've got Vinny Jr. They've got Rodrigo. They've now got Mastantuono. Yeah. Look at Bayern Munich. They've got Luis Diaz. I don't rate Luis Diaz. He's better than all our wingers. Yeah. They've got Olise. They've got a couple more. They've probably got PSG.
You don't even need to look across Europe. Just look in the league. We've got if you look at Liverpool, they've got Gakpo, Salah. They're about to bring in fucking Isak, who's probably going to play a bit more wise as well. Like that's just 3 of their guys. Arsenal, Martinelli's pretty shit to be fair, but then you've got Saka and Madueke, who are both better than
Eze off the
guys.
left as well.
Eze off the left as well.
Nwaneri.
Also better than everyone else we've got. Nwaneri's probably he's another project, isn't he? But like looks pretty decent so far. Chelsea, fucking hell, like they've got so many that it's impossible to list them all.
You could do like a tenable of all theirs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but at least
surely.
Esteval's better than anything we've got.
Esteval looks good, man. He looks good.
Pedro Neto's definitely better than everything we've got right now. Like our wing options relative to the league are shit. Like it's so bad.
And to think what we had just 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it's just stunning.
Mate, fucking Bournemouth might have better wingers than us. Never mind Liverpool.
This is why. I know we're not going to do it now. I know it's too late.
Semenyo would be our best winger.
Oh, I love Semenyo. I'd be happy.
Next summer, boys. Yeah, no fucking about. Yeah, if Doku and Savio ain't produced, sell them both and get me some top tier players. I'm not doing this where we're giving players 3 or 4 years to get up to the level.
It's the last chance. It's the last chance.
That's bollocks. That's not Manchester City. Yeah, we're a team that's meant to be winning. So we've got Pep Guardiola. If that's the case, why have we got Pep Guardiola? Yeah, Pep Guardiola's here to win. Right? Not having players to sit here and say, we'll be good in 4 years' time. What have you got Pep Guardiola for? Get rid of Pep then and get a young manager who can coach the players and we'll be good in 4 years.
It's fine having, like you say, it's fine having it's fine having 1 or 2 of them like sprinkled in amongst the top level players. But like when all of your options in the wide positions, with the exception of Marmoush, who we only signed in January.
He's not really a winger.
Who's not really a winger, a 21, 22-year-olds who we're just sort of like looking at and going, right, go on then, develop. And then just like hoping that they suddenly just turn it on one day and become these 20 G&A players that they haven't been for the Savio obviously had that 1 season at Girona, didn't he? Which is the one thing that we're all kind of clinging to with Savio, that he has shown he is capable of it to some degree. But yeah, everybody else, it's just like, what are we doing? Like even Bob, even if you think that Bob's the best winger at the club, he's literally shown fuck all at first team level of football to make anyone think that he can definitely do it. Like it's just I don't. Yeah, we need to serious rethink next summer.
18-year-old. Bob's like 22 now. I know that's relatively young, but you can't keep treating him like he's 17.
He's the same age. He's the same age as Doku, and Doku's played 4 or 5 years of first team football. Seriously, like Bob is Bob's a 22-year-old player with effectively just academy minutes in his legs up until
Rodrigo's 2 years older than Bob, and he's won 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, that's the difference in it. Like and that's not
played
Bob's
400
fault.
games, and certain people didn't want Rodrigo.
Yeah, and that's not Bob's fault because obviously he spent a year of that time injured, and obviously he would have probably played a bit more last season had that not been the case. But then he wouldn't have moved the needle last season, would it? Because it's G&A is still an issue.
I'll take Bowen. I'll take Bowen over Rodrigo.
Tell you what, we'll take in our wing options. It's a certain guy who's playing for Everton doing pretty well.
Oh
so far.
no! Don't
I
do
think
it,
he's,
man! Don't do it! Don't do it! I thought I'd gone
Mate,
through the
no, you know what?
Grealish
You know what
was-
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna count out. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna keep track of how many games it takes for Doku and Savio combined to hit the four assists that Grealish has got in his first couple of games.
Doku would get 10 goals, 10 assists for Everton, man. Playing against fucking high lines all the time. Like, it's a completely different kettle of fish, man.
Well, then why the
Grealish has
fuck have we
got
got
so
him?
much space to run into for Everton now.
Well
not
then,
playing against
yeah.
low
Well
blocks every
then,
week.
why we got him? Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
it'll be sold next summer.
Yeah.
And if Savio don't do bits this year, get him gone as well. Yeah, not signing players and giving them 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I mean, because it's just fucking pathetic, mate. Not when you've got other
Let's
players.
not forget, Jack Grealish scored 1 goal in a fucking 12-month period as well.
Mate,
Yeah, no, we're not.
They
We're
had
not
to give him
glazing
a
Grealish.
pen against Salford for him
Yeah.
to score.
I'll
Yeah,
make
we're
a
not
wish pen.
glazing
No,
Grealish.
we don't forget.
No.
Joe.
And again,
I do.
He's facing face at Everton. Here he's getting non-stop low blocks. Over there, they got the freedom of the pitch there. So
Yeah.
you have to take that.
I'm happy for him though. I'm happy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't lie though. I can't lie, Joe. As soon as I seen the Grealish assist, the first thing I did was search you up on Twitter and see what you was tweeting.
Oh mate, it's been great content. It's been. I'm sorry, Jay. You don't get to be happy for him. You don't get to enjoy this. This is
That's
for
funny.
this is for me. This is for me, not for you. I get to appreciate Grealish doing well.
You enjoy it, mate.
So I was listening. I had to drop, but I was watching on YouTube or whatever. And when Joe said that, I was like, "Oh God, I got to get back on here. I got to jump on." And I mean, kudos to Grealish, but I think, like everybody has said, it's just a different setup.
Yeah,
in
100%.
Everton
I'm not
than where he
genuinely
is, yeah.
saying get him back, but it is funny that
Yeah.
he's immediately outperformed all of our wingers in the first couple of games.
Yeah. I missed the conversation about, no one is Pep out, but did anyone bring up the final days of Arsene Wenger and how that kind of went? Because that it could easily become that.
We
I
don't
think
want
I
it to
said-
turn into like a civil war, do we?
I don't think it can turn into that because I think the difference between Pep and Wenger is Pep will walk.
Well, I was going to say, because
Yeah.
it felt like at the time the fan base was very anti-Wenger at that point. There was not all of them, of course, but there were a lot of Arsenal fans that were kind of Wenger out, and you hear that now with Pep. And again, I think it's a small minority. Many of them may not even actually be City fans. They may just be trying to stir up trouble, whatever. But it is impossible to ignore all of the conversation.
I think.
Because the thing is, you can't just. The thing is, for me, is like, you can't just never ever speak about the manager. Like, Pep's a legend. I love the guy. I think he's the best manager we've ever had, and the best manager we'll ever have. But you can't just have the season that you've just had, spend 300 and odd million, and then lose 2 of your first 3 games, and just go, we're not having any conversation whatsoever about the manager, no matter that. You just can't do that. It's not North Korea. You've got to be able to speak about it. Now, whether you go so far as to say Pep out, that's up to you. I'm not that. I'm just saying I do think Pep has done mistakes already in the second game against Spurs with the starting 11. And then today, I think he needs to be more proactive.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just sit here and go, Pep's done absolutely nothing wrong. This is all the players in Viana. Because that's just not true.
The point that I made was more that obviously I'll never be actively Pep out. But if this season pans out like last season, then I will think it is right if he decides to walk at the end of the season. Yeah. And that's, but obviously I'll never say, if it turns out the club have sacked him, I'll be fuming. But if he's decided himself that he wants to walk, I'll be like, you know what, you're probably right. Like, it's probably time. Yeah, but that's only if this season pans out in a sort of similar fashion to last season.
By the way, just a bit. Well, funny you say that. I shouted Mark Guay back in January, and the chat cut me, man. Yeah. They're about to get this guy, by the way. And David Ornstein is now saying as well that talks are underway tonight between Liverpool and Newcastle for Isak. Yeah. So Liverpool are now going to sign Mark Guay and they're going to get Isak.
Because they've been ruthless in the window, unlike us. So
they're signing proven players
in fairness,
on the curve, up the top of the curve, man.
In fairness, though, there is no way, I think, that Canate is not off on a free transfer next summer. So this is kind of like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they
They might try to sell him now. They
But
might
Joe
try to
is
sell him.
Doesn't matter, though.
proactive. When was the last time
Oh, no,
Arsenal was proactive?
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah. That's a situation where we're just like, well, the current guy's already here, so we can't sign his replacement because he's already here. And it's like, well, we should be doing that. Like, if they see this guy as a sort of, I mean, obviously they need 3 top quality centre backs anyway, so he still helps them now. But if they're kind of thinking, right, well, Kanate's off next summer and this guy's available right now, so let's get him in now rather than wait for next season when we could conceivably get him on a free transfer, but we'll have more competition. Yeah, those just aren't moves that we're making. We're just like we could have done that now and just been like, well, Stones and Ake are off next summer, so
We could have
fuck
beaten
it,
to
we'll
it
just-
like a week or 2 ago, couldn't we?
Yeah, but we've got a bloated squad as it is, and we aren't being that ruthless about it. So we're just like, oh well, Liverpool can have him, and next summer we'll all be looking at it thinking, fucking hell, I wish we had Mark Gay. So yeah, annoying.
He'd play a lot of minutes for this football team if he come to City. A lot of fucking minutes.
He'd be a
He
starter,
would be
yeah.
starting most games, yeah.
I
think he would?
think he's going to come. I think he's going to turn into a world class centre back, man. If you think about what he's already done, right? Yeah, he's 25 years old. He's prem proven, and he was immense for England
He was.
Yeah.
at the last tournament. So you've already seen that in a better team, because obviously he's playing at Palace now. When he's playing with better players at England, he can perform at a high level, and he's prem proven. I think he's a player that when he gets into Liverpool and starts playing week in, week out with better players, I think he's going to be a world-class centre-back. And that's what City used to be buying. City used to buy the Bernardo Silvas, yeah, the Kyle Walkers, probably a little bit further up, the Mahrezes, the players that were there and thereabouts, either touching world-class or you could see it within a year. And that's where we went wrong with the transfers. We've gone too far down on the curve. I keep talking about this curve. I don't know if any of you lads on the panel have heard me talking about the curve of like, this is where the players are at the beginning, yeah, potential, and then that's where they get up. And we used to buy players like here on the curve, yeah, getting a world class. Now we're buying them down here, man. We're going early. We're going on Savio, 1 year at Girona, 1 decent year at Girona, bang, get him in the team. Doku didn't even not even done that good for Rennes, bang, get him in the team.
But do you know what's most annoying about that?
Proven, man.
And with that being the case, with that being our sort of buy-in tactic, who did we get rid of to get Doku in? Fucking Cole Palmer,
exactly.
who was at a similar level to Doku, I think, on the sort of the trajectory of where their
Early
career was
days,
going to go. Only Cole Palmer literally just needed minutes to do it, whereas Doku needs fucking years to do it. And we were just giving
not only that, Joe. Your Cole Palmer and Mahrez is not exactly like for like, but it's pretty close.
It's pretty close, yeah.
You've
And
also
also,
got Doku, who's completely different to Mahrez.
And Cole Palmer had scored 2 goals in the 3 games he'd played at the start of that season as well before we got rid of him at deadline day. Or no, not deadline day, but near the end of the window. Like it's just such a like I say, when you consider the profile that we then bought in for the wings, we had a world class potential up and coming player there who was from our academy, and we didn't give him a shot, and instead we've brought in someone like Jeremy Doku and then subsequently Savio and given them a shot instead. Now Savio, you can make the argument, obviously the output that he had at Girona, like you'd be stupid not to give that guy a chance, really, given that we could have got him for so cheap, and that's I'm fine with that. But when you consider that Doku was a direct replacement, or Doku coming in was the reason why Palmer then said, right, well, fuck this, I'm off. It's just baffling when you consider and this is obviously hindsight because of the way that both those careers have panned out. But yeah, it's
this is why we're
just
just
annoying.
signing more of the Reinders style.
Yeah, exactly. We all said it when it happened as well. Yeah, which means that it's not so much hindsight, is it?
No. This is why we need to sign more of the Reinders style players and not getting in these young prospects, man. That's why I say next summer, yeah, when we've not won the league again, and we're sat there in the transfer window, every signing that we're making needs to be a baller that's produced the goods. Ideally on the biggest stages, Champions Leagues. Yeah, not some guy who's done it for 1 year. Yeah, playing against non-low blocks. I want players that are playing against low blocks and get goals and assists every week, no matter who they're playing. Not someone who's playing for a mid-table team that gets bare space to run into every game and scoring nice little free goals and that. Yeah, come on, man. This is what it's about. Anyway, let me do these chats and then we'll wrap it up. What else you guys want to speak about? Big up Kelkster says Trafford is good enough. Cruel to bench him, says Kel. Yeah, it might be cruel, but listen, I see this all the time by people. Kelkster, yeah. if Trafford's better than Donnarumma, Trafford gets back in the number 1 spot. Played a better goalkeeper. Play Donnarumma because Donnarumma will start. If Donnarumma's shit, drop him and play Trafford. It's simple, isn't it? Big up Jay says, I just want to see at the system we played against Newcastle, check the formation to see who could go where. That game was fucking phenomenal. I think it wasn't too different. It wasn't too different to what we played today.
It wasn't, no.
Yeah,
It was Gavadio for Nunes. Obviously, Rodri's come in and was the Nico G. Reinders was the Gundogan. Yes, so it wasn't even and we actually played very similar against Newcastle.
Same centre back partnership as well. It was Stones.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Stones and Cousin.
Yeah. We played very similar in that game against Newcastle. We went long loads of times. Today we were going long quite a lot, especially in the first half. We didn't go long that much actually in the second half.
That's how Marmoush was getting him behind every time, wasn't it? Going long.
Exactly. But Marmoush had another good game today. His best game of the season last year was against Newcastle. So that is a system that I think we need to look at. I just think you need to bring in probably Gavadio for Ike Nori to shore it up a little bit. And then you just need some fucking wingers, man. Big up to Massam. He says, would you guys take Everton's new left winger?
I would.
Big up NK says, bench Haaland. The fans asked why we don't score, says NK. Yeah,
agreed.
Bro. No way. Palumi says, so mad. I'm so mad, says Palumi. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Nicholas. Says, come on, Donnarumma's an experienced treble-winning goalie. Isn't Trafford another project, which we are now against, says Nicholas. Yeah, Tarek, let me ask you, because you weren't here on the show when I asked a question. You're the sporting director at Manchester City. Are you signing Donnarumma tomorrow or no?
Let's just assume that in this world you can keep Ederson and he's not going to kick up a fuss. Like, it's just based. So would you rather have Donnarumma tomorrow?
I thought it was Trafford. In my head, when I was asking, it was Trafford and Ortega. The way I was doing it.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Not Ederson.
It'd be the same answer anyway.
So, for me, it's still very early in Trafford's time as the number 1 at City. So it's hard to say you've seen enough. It's only been 3-4 games, but I think that. Well, okay. On one hand, I think I've seen enough to say I would be fine going with him. But at the same hand, I think we're trying to raise the level across the board, effectively elevate the team. So I guess from that standpoint, and this is kind of contrary to what I've been saying up until today, I guess, I probably would bring him in because I think even if he ends up being the backup and Trafford ends up starting, I think he's better than, say, Ortega and potentially even Ederson. So
can I ask the question?
I think I would. I
don't
think it's necessary, but I don't think it. I don't think it hurts. Go ahead.
Can I ask the question then that I asked after that, which is what? Obviously, again, whether you think we've got any chance of winning the league after these first few games, I don't know. But what percentage increased chance of us winning the league do you think Donnarumma gives us over Trafford?
Maybe. I would say maybe 5 to 10% more, but nothing more than that. I don't think it's like night and day. Now again, he may get here and whatever. I just think that, and I've actually kind of changed my opinion on the whole Rodrigo thing, right? Because I was like Jay, I was kind of not anti Rodrigo, but maybe more so pro Savio and keeping him around, seeing the potential. But I do think at the end of the day, and this goes back to the conversation from earlier, you have to just raise the level of the entire squad. And so, I think at the end of the day, immediately today, Rodrigo's the better player. And so we're elevating the team. And there's also the potential that Savio goes on to be a world beater. The other side of that coin is that Savio doesn't become anything more than what he is. And so now you've given up the potential opportunity to go get Rodrigo. So I think initially I was very much keep Rodrigo, and then I kind of came around to keep Savio, and then I kind of came around to the idea of, all right, fine, we're gonna get Rodrigo. It is what it is, and then the club changed, so it didn't matter. But I think if I were sporting director, I would make both of those moves today if I could.
Mint. So would I. Let me have a look at the poll. I did ask the chat before. Would you sign Donnarumma? You're the sporting director. Would you sign him? If you're watching back on replay or whatever, then leave a comment down below. You're the sporting director. Would you sign Donnarumma tomorrow? 67% of people are saying, yes, I would sign Donnarumma. 33% of the chat are saying, no, I wouldn't sign Donnarumma. So there you go.
Chat modded.
One in three people have a brain.
No.
A lot of FIFA players in this chat.
Two and three. What a racist standard to get a treble winning goalkeeper in it. That's what wants to happen, man. Treble winner. Come on.
Treble winner. Can't say treble winner in France.
A lot of
I could
people
say
watch
treble
Champions League football only.
Yeah, I'll say treble winner, man. Let me finish these chats, boys, before we wrap it up. Big up Matty says, I know people aren't too big on the Donnarumma signing, but he's a proven winner as character where he won't put up with nonsense from the defence, says Matty. See how fucking long that lasts with the defence in front of him, bro. He'll probably be like, get me back to PSG, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up Russ says, the priority is the right back, which after all this time has not been addressed. Got so much dead wood on the players in defence who are just not up to it, says Russ. Yeah, facts.
A question on that. If you thought that City had the conversation with Livramento and Newcastle was like, hey, we know you're coming in for him, but you can't go this year, but next year we'll let him go for this amount, whatever. And I know we talked about the idea of having a short-term signing, but I guess, would you want to block that move if you knew, and again, this is if you knew that next year we're going to go get Livramento?
You
it's
can
already
still
kind
get
of
a
been
short-term
agreed. Yeah,
signing,
I think
though.
the short term is the right answer, right? The short term is the right answer. But I guess you're trying not to. You've already got a bloated squad. What do you do? How do you make sure that you still have room for him when that time comes next year or whatever? And again,
I think
this is all conjecture because I don't know that there's anything that's been decided. But I guess it feels like we had a lot. Well, there were a lot of potential options that were thrown out there as far as names. Initially, they were all young project type signings. And then one by one, they kind of all went away. And it's hard to believe that City would effectively turn down all of those options and bring in nobody unless there was a bigger plan that we're just not privy to.
I think if they know for a fact that they can get Livramento next summer, like you said there, let's say just hypothetically that is the conversation, and they've just gone, right, we're going to have to just settle for Rico and Nunes this season, but next season we 100% or as close to 100% will have Livramento.
Assuming he doesn't get hurt.
Then at that point, I think I will probably be okay with just having sucked up this season in order for that to be the case.
Nah, I wouldn't.
However, I think I'd still probably rather that we'd sign someone full stop at this point.
You can sign it. You can sign like a Olayena, yeah. We could have gone and got Olayena, yeah. Someone like that, yeah, for 20 million quid, bro.
And he's homegrown, is that right?
He's homegrown as well, bro.
Which makes it makes no sense why we didn't. So why did we not consider that?
Oh,
it doesn't make any sense.
You could have said to him, listen, we're going to get you. Yeah, you're going to be right back this season, and then whatever. I don't even know how much into depth they go. Remember as well, Livramento can play left back, so you can have Livramento as your starting right back, and if Ait Nori gets injured, you can just play Livramento left back, and Olayena can still play right back next season when that happens. I don't see any scenario where a short-term option would have been a bad situation. None whatsoever. Yeah. There were cheap options, Olayena. There were cheaper options, Dumfries. There were more expensive options, Munoz. But there is no scenario in which I can see buying a short-term option would have been a detriment to the team. Not when your two right-backs and Nunes, Nunes is a good right-back, yeah, what he does. The problem with him is he makes bozo errors. He makes mistakes that cost you football matches. Yeah. He did it multiple times last year, and he did it again today with his penalty. Like, that's just it. He's a good right-back when he doesn't make bozo errors. But he's going to continue to make them. And your other one's Rico, and Rico can only play in a team that's not shit, and we're shit. So, nah, man, I don't think it's acceptable not to have a right back. I think it's super poor. Dumfries was there apparently, for 15 million euros. Yeah, some people are saying it's 25, whatever. Yeah, it's 20 million quid. It's no money, man. Yeah, Olayena had 1 year left on his deal. You probably could have got him for 20. Like, come on, man. That's just something that should have been done. There's just no excuses for me. There isn't, man. All right, let me finish these chats off. Big up to MD. Says, let's say no Donnarumma. If Trafford makes bozos next game and next year no good goalkeeper, you're going to sacrifice seasons because we're sentimental, says MD. This is why I'm signing Donnarumma, bro. Because I ain't willing to back on Trafford just off one good year in the Championship. I ain't willing to do it, bro. Yeah, so that's why I'm signing Donnarumma. But if Trafford turns out to be better than Donnarumma, start Trafford and tell Donnarumma you're benched.
Yeah.
The signs, Trafford's signs have been fairly positive so far. I don't
They
know.
have.
Well, what if he flops? Because he started on a very good trend.
They have, but it is only 3 games. He's not
is
kicked
only
a ball in the
3.
Champions League, and he made a mistake already in the second game where he cost us the goal and killed the game.
But that's a coachable thing. That's just a hoof it long next time thing.
It is, but you've got
over and over again.
I know, I hear it, but you've got a guy here in Donnarumma who's played football at the top level for what, 8 years, 10 years, and you can sign him for relatively cheap. And he just had a fantastic Champions League campaign, and we're going to turn him down for Trafford.
Last club in Manchester to sign a keeper off the back of a great Champions League campaign didn't work out very well, did it?
Why was that?
That was Onana, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. Big up to Russ. If Pep was 100% committed, we would have signed Wirtz, no doubt. And our recruitment after the treble has been poor. Wingers doing nothing, and yet Jack is on fire, says Russ.
Shut up about Jack, man. Come on.
The Grealish fingers are mad. We got to leave that in the past, man.
Revision is such a horrible thing.
Russ, I don't know if you're on
comment
Twitter,
was
man,
so
but
good
follow
until the
Joe.
last bit, man.
Yeah, make sure you're following Joe on Twitter, Russ,
Yeah.
man. He
You'll all know exactly how many assists Jack Grealish has by the end of this season if you follow me on Twitter.
So you guys don't know this, but if Joe tilts his camera 90 degrees, there's actually a big cardboard cutout of Jack Grealish.
In the corner of his bedroom.
He's got it tucked into bed right now.
Got a pillow.
No, facts, man. MTZ says, I couldn't understand how Pep didn't sub Ike Nori for O'Reilly. Ike Nori was offering nothing going forward. He was getting cooked, plus the other card. Yeah, I was quite surprised at that. I think, again, this is what I'm saying. When it, with Pep, like, for me, this is where I look at Pep and go, mate, Ike Nori was getting absolutely rinsed on that left-hand side, and you left him on for time. Yeah, and then you put O'Reilly in midfield. He's done that a number of occasions now. O'Reilly's not played well in midfield yet. And you could have put O'Reilly on at left. You could have maybe thrown Ake on at the left. Like, there were options. This is where I think Pep needs to be getting in there and just helping us out a little bit, man.
So that's actually a good point, because, again, I didn't get to watch the second half as of yet. But and I saw that substitution. I was actually kind of surprised. But I was like, okay, cool. So did he not do well, Nico O'Reilly?
Nah.
He just didn't really do anything. He had
He
one.
come
Yeah, the only thing I can remember him doing is having a shot that got deflected and went out, and that's it.
I remember him running down a dark alley on the left hand side.
So why did Pep do that? Because Nico G was sitting right there, right? So he brought off. Was it Bernardo?
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Was it before the goal that he came on, or it was before the goal, wasn't it? He was on the pitch for their 2-1.
Yeah.
Come
I think
on at 1-1, I think.
Did he come on with Ruben?
He coming at 1-1 and then just was not good, man. I don't know why they bring Nico Gonzalez on. That's weird. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, innit? Pushing for a goal. Yeah,
that's what I can
know,
think.
Man.
Yeah, if you're going to bring on one of the two and think who's more likely to do something in the final third, it probably is O'Reilly.
I mean, it was Brighton that was fucking pushing for a goal more than us.
Yeah.
So maybe we
needed Nico G on to get a point, fight for the point, innit?
Exactly.
We need to humble ourselves, man. Going to Brighton and getting a point is a solid result these days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I remember before lockdown when we'd go to Brighton, it'd be a 5-0 win. Gone are those days.
Remember the last day of the season when Mahrez scored that sick goal with his right foot? He sat the defender down on his arm.
I remember, mate.
Fucking so good. Those were the days. Those were the days, guys.
Which one of our wingers could do that? He got the ball, in the middle, He fake shotted the guy and then weak footed it into the top bins in a title decider.
Yeah. Guys, cold-blooded.
Not one of our guys is doing that.
This is what we had, man, and we had the replacement right there. Oh, fucking hell, man. You know what I mean? This is what I get pissed off when we start talking about Mahrez, because then I think about Palmer and it gets even worse. I'm saying.
No, but this was something I was thinking about earlier this week. Could you imagine, like, the current state of our fan base, like, witnessing the Mahrez penalty miss at Anfield? You'd be getting shit for that. Yeah. I mean, you got shit back then, But
I gave him a little bit of it. I got to be honest.
I used to get
he
pissed at
deserved
Mars
it.
all the time. We do this whole thing. Oh, Mars was always such a great player. First couple seasons, he was not all that. It was towards the end that he really kicked on.
I had, and again, this isn't bash Mahrez, but I just felt he became predictable. I always knew he was going to cut inside, but you know, it's if you're like Robin and can't stop it, what does it matter?
First season, he telegraphed everything that he did, but I think by the second and third,
just a big game player, man.
Yeah, by the time it was the second season, I think he was good enough at disguising what he was going to do. And he also developed the ability to go out on his right foot as well, which made it a bit more difficult for defenders.
Scored quite a few goals on his right. He scored one against Spurs, didn't he?
The Spurs one,
Spurs game, yeah.
The Leicester one in the COVID season where he just slammed it in off a corner.
But you know what?
This guy was dropping braces in Champions League semi-finals, man. Like, come on, it's a different fucking kettle of fish.
FA Cup semi-final, hat trick. I know it was against poor opposition, but still delivering the goods. Do you know what I'm saying?
Big game player.
But I was talking about, I can't remember if it was in the watch along today or yesterday, but we're speaking in the chat about it, right? And like, there was a period a couple of years ago where we kept on going 2-0 down, yet still winning. And when we went 2-0 down, we all felt that we wouldn't just draw the game. We all still felt we'd win the game. Whereas now when I go 1-0 down, I'm thinking, we're losing. I don't even think we can draw the game.
Used to be if we went 1-0 down, there'd be some games where that'd happen. I'd be like, all right, well, at least the team might fucking wake up now. And then like, but now it's like, if we go 1-0 down, it's like, all right, well, this is kind of it now, isn't it? Like, I don't really see a way back into this at this point. And that's where it comes back to the thing we started with, which is the mentality of this team. Like, even if the talent's there, which we can all have quibbles about, like the actual level of quality that there is in the team, but if the mentality is not there, it doesn't fucking matter. It could be that treble winning team, but if their mentality is today's mentality, then they'd probably still be shit and not do anything with it. It's like I cannot believe how far not just the quality of the players has fallen, but the level of sort of like winning mentality is just like.
But again, the younger players you're going to get are going to not have that mentality because they're more fragile. Players who are 26, 27, 28, who've been there, done it, they ain't panicking when they go 2-0 down because they go, oh, shit, I've been there before.
I know what this feels like.
But the guy's 21, you know what I mean? The crowd are going, fucking hell, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? You got Colo Torre fucking screaming at you on the side of the pitch. They're shitting themselves. Yeah, and then they go through on goal. No wonder Savio's like that in front of goal going, pass the ball to the goalkeeper. Like, fucking hell. Mahrez, 2-0 down, gets in front of the goalkeeper. He goes, yeah, I fancy this today. Let's come back. Bang, let's slot it past the goalkeeper. And then it's on. And then everyone gets buzzing. They grab the ball, running back to the goal line. Everyone's like, fucking come on. And then guess what happens? We're losing the game. Every single one of your players wants the ball. Give me the fucking ball. Kevin De Bruyne says, give me the ball. Gundogan, give me the ball. Mahrez, give me the ball.
The crowd's well up for it because they know that it's coming. They know it's coming. Whereas you know, nowadays, if we go 1-0 down, they know it's coming, man. The whole crowd knows what's coming now if we go 1-0 down. They're just like, oh, fucking hell. Like, the crowd's deflated straight off the bat. Doku will get the ball on the left-hand side and do a cross. Everyone will be, and then it'll get blocked by the near post. Everyone will be like, yeah, go on. But nothing actually happens. Savio gets the ball on the right-hand side, probably goes for on goal and passes the ball to the goalkeeper. Yeah, and then you've got fucking, oh, no, it's wild, bro. We got to sign elite players. It's not rocket science, man. The worst thing about this is, as well, like, these are probably conversations that United fans are having about, like, 2010 and 2011. And we're having these conversations about 2023. Now, and it feels like fucking, like, it feels like ages ago that a team this good was available to us.
That's why the next summer, because I'm negative on this summer now, this whole season, but next summer, we have to get it right, and we've got to hit it right big time. Because if we don't get it right next summer, I think you could then you're then entering a slippery slope. You know, I think next summer's massive. We got to get quality players.
We've said this like 3 summers in a row now. We said it after the treble. We said it last summer. Now we said it this summer, and then now we're saying it for the next one as well.
I know, but I'm saying that like you've still got decent players at the football club, but if you start signing more projects next year, I think you're gonna be fucked, man. I think next season you need to be signing Elise's, Rodrigo's, these type of players, elite players that are produced in the biggest stages, man. Yeah, whether
Got
you
to
like
spend
them
some
or
big money.
not.
I'm sick of the club caring about the idea of like having to spend like 80, 90 million on these players. Like they'll do it like once every 3 years and think that like that's enough. And it's like Liverpool have done it 3 times in one window by the time this is over. Like just do it. Like no one, like Liverpool are showing that it don't matter. Like no one's talking about the amount of money Liverpool are spending, right? Really, like compared to like when it was us doing this like 5-6 years ago. Like no one cares. It's just they're just looking at the signings, going like, oh, look at the signings they're making. Just sick of this club caring about what people think about the money we spend. Just do it.
The other part of that, we were in a bad way last season, January transfer window. So we went out, we bought a decent amount of players. Most all of them were quote unquote project players. So now we've got a roster or a squad that's got a lot of project players in it that really we can't do anything with. The Juma Bas, we got to send, the Haces of the world. We can't even play them. We got Echeverry, who we got sent out, and we don't even have a number 10 right now at the moment, unless you consider Marmouche. So I wonder if we could go back and redo that January transfer window. We had to do something because we were in a bad way, but would we have gone for bigger, more established players if they were available, as opposed to more of the project type
Well, first of all, every player is available. You just got to pay the money. Yeah, we went to the Bundesliga and got the most informed player in the Bundesliga out. Yeah, so any player, you can get any player out of any club. You just got to pay the money. There's a bit of a myth that it's hard to get players out in January. It's not hard to get fucking players out in January. You just got to pay the money. Every club these days are a business. So would we have done something different? I think they might have not signed Vita Hayes, man. I think they might have signed got a Palace and got a Mark Guay, someone a little bit more senior. I like the Huzanov signing. I like the Marmouche signing. Yeah, but obviously, the Vita Hayes signing, did we really need to sign
Just
2?
random as fuck.
I'm disappointed with how
and even Juma Ba.
Yeah, well, the Juma Bar one was 6 million. It's neither there, but you're spending decent money on Vita Hayes. You're spending 30 million quid on Vita Hayes. Like, you could have probably spent 60, so an extra 30 million, and you could have got Mark Guay out of Palace, a homegrown player who's ready to, in my opinion, take that next step.
That feels like a Hugo going like, look, this guy's gonna be great. Like, we're signing this guy because he is gonna do it. And then Pep went, nah, go off to get this guy out. I don't need this guy right now. And then who knows? Once next season, maybe he comes back and maybe he comes into the squad and maybe it's all good. But I think I think that's just a case of Viana thinks that guy is good enough to start in the Premier League right now, and his talent. I think we've talked about his talent ID before. Maybe he's right, but I think Pep's just like, nah. Not feeling a 19-year-old in my back four.
So that's fine, but then that means you've got a conflict between the sporting director and the manager.
I think there probably is one. Like I said before, it comes down to the idea that Viana's thinking of life beyond Pep because that's probably very imminent, and Pep ain't thinking that far along. He's thinking, who are the players that are going to make the next 12 months of my life as easy as possible? And a 19-year-old who's new to the country, who's been playing in the Brazilian league as a youngster for his whole time up to now, is probably not the guy who he's looking at. But if you can call that a conflict, then yeah, I imagine there is a conflict. But yeah, well, it's just because
I don't know, maybe that's not the right word, but you know what I mean? It's not cohesive, is it? Because you've got a sporting director spending 30 million quid on a player that the manager don't want to play.
Yeah.
So this is where they need to be a little bit more.
Could have been Guay this summer, but
I mean, I thought the whole thing was a smart signing, but just the way we've handled him has been confusing to me. If we weren't going to play him that much, I don't know why we didn't just loan him back to Palmeiras like they wanted. He played high-level opposition in the Club World Cup as well. He played against Porto. He played against Chelsea. He would play against them. And then the loan to Girona, I was a fan of at first, but they are a dumpster fire. I've watched 2 of the 3 games. They are hopeless.
That one season is the outlier. They're a shit club. I don't know what if they were affiliated with us, we would have no intention of sending anyone to that club. They're not good.
So the shock teams in every league, like your Monaco in 16-17, your Ajax in 18-19, they get blown up. Sure, Girona got blown up too, but the recruitment since getting blown up has been pathetic. Like this window, they signed Thomas Lemar and Axel Witsel, who are totally past it. It's just lazy. You're throwing him into a dumpster fire. I'm not sure how that helps him out at all. Sure, he'll get the minutes, but it's like he's getting pounded.
He'll have to defend anyway.
City doing him a favour, innit?
He'll have to defend anyway.
Yeah.
Right, let me do these last chats and we'll end the show, boys. Shout out to Danny for the super chat. I appreciate it. No message, but I appreciate the donation. Big up to Warren as well. Same thing. Big up to you, Warren, man. Big up for tuning in. Big up Al. Yeah, I've just messaged him on WhatsApp though, guys. I'm wrapping up the show, man. But, I might do another show tomorrow. See if he's about. And big up to Russ for the final one. Says, I know none of you will accept it, but Pep stifles our wingers. Stop the tiki-taka. Let players express themselves using their pace and directness. But you then that play, you need to get Savio on the left and get Doku on the right then. Yeah. Let's see it. Let's see Savio on this left-hand side. Yeah, I like Savio, but I want him on the left, man. I want him on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's where I want him. Listen, big up to everybody for tuning in. Big up to the panelists as well for jumping on, man. 2 hours, 40 minutes, legends. All these guys' links are in the descriptions for their own channel. You got City Ramble, link in description. Shades of Blue, link in description. J Talk Sport, link in description. And you've also got Not in My Lifetime. Bevel couldn't make it on tonight, man. But he's everything's in the links, man. So make sure you guys are subscribing to their channels as well. Great content on other channels, man. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with L Bins, man. You know what I mean? Me and Nobbins are gonna talk it over tomorrow, man. I might have to deep these signings a little bit tomorrow. I might get the signings up, see what signings we've let go, who we sold since the treble year, who we bought, and analyze this properly, see what's going on, man. Because I've had a little bit of a glance, but I might do a proper in-depth look on it tomorrow with Nobbins. But yeah, listen, big up to everybody, man. Smash the likes on the way out. Have a great week, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, people.
See ya.